Puggles is a bigger
Hello.
monster than most
Yes.
math.
Too hard the Bard, Terminian Link, thank you both for the raid. Jade, I hope the map stream went well. I hope your characters are ready for the spider shenanigans. But I'll be quiet about that. We're waiting for a couple more people to filter in, but I will give you all the question of the day so you have time to answer it.
Oh, wonderful,
To
wonderful.
think on it. Speaking of our spooky season questions. In the dimly lit tavern, an old hooded figure leans in, the flickering candlelight casting eerie shadows on their face. With a raspy voice, they ask, "Travelers, on All Hallows Eve, when the veil between worlds is thinnest, what is the one thing, creature, or memory from your past that you fear might come back to haunt you?"
Oh, that's a good question.
And that is your question of the day that the other two will get when they arrive. We are gonna go backwards though, so to give Isaac some time to think this time. Depending on when Elliot shows up.
Yes.
There is a statistical chance that we just go through opening without Elliot.
That's
Also,
okay.
I hope everybody enjoys the new background music that I literally got at Too Hard the Bard's recommendation less than 30 minutes ago. Soundtail, which is sick, and I'm already overjoyed playing with it. It may not have all the noises I need, like potato chip crunch, but it has enough.
Yeah.
Anyways, how did everybody's Monday go?
Oh, it's been wonderful. It's been very, very nice.
It's been pretty good. I filled out a few more job applications, and I got a interview Thursday. So we're doing pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. For people to be aware of, people in chat who I know watch the stream pretty consistently, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, and the Thursday game this week are completely up in the air on whether they'll happen or not, because I will not know until tomorrow night whether I have to report for jury duty on Wednesday.
Oof.
Yeah. Oof.
I am so sorry. My sister has just finished up jury duty, and I reluctantly, thank God, have not been asked to serve. So you have my condolences.
Yeah, I wish I had my own condolences. I wish I had the condolences of the court system, but...
You just tell them you pooped your pants. That might work.
I think there's a statistical chance that when I call in tomorrow night to see if I have to go, the answer is no.
Yeah.
But, we will find out. But for now, we're waiting on our last couple people. What are you guys excited about this session?
I didn't say about my Monday. Wait.
Oh yeah, well, I assume your Monday was just pain of homework.
Yeah, well, more than that. Okay, so basically, I climbed a mountain yesterday instead of doing anything that needed to actually happen.
As you do.
So I've been panicking all day.
They've
I'm very
arrived.
tired. They've arrived.
Is it getting darker? Like the sky is filling with 100 little clouds?
She's a climber.
She's a climber. They have arrived. Welcome in, little clouds. Thank you, Sky, for the raid.
So help me. If there's not a
Ellie,
a
thank you
weather
for the
event.
bits. The chat, or I'm sure the party appreciates their extra role. There is the Sky T.
I'm here, sorry.
Welcome in.
Hello.
Everything is so loud still. Ah!
Sky, if you watch the stream, if you watch the screen that I'm sharing, you can hear the new music and background app.
Oh! Oh my god. Let's go.
I'm gonna say something. And Sky, you're gonna be on the
Hang
same
on, how
vibe.
did a hype train start? Who did this? Which
Ellie and Vital combined.
you bastards.
There we go.
This app, Sky, that
Yeah.
PT's showing, straight up out of fucking Neopets.
We love that.
Same art, same font.
Pretty much. Sky, you son of a bitch!
Thank you, Sky.
It was. I just gave subs to literally all of our friends: Rosie, Newt, Flam, Ellie, and then Social Socks.
Yeah. Get that level to hype train.
Hey, it was my turn to gift subs back. This is how we do it, PT.
You know what? That is an entirely fair and balanced thing, actually. That's
Yeah.
right, guys. Just so you know, me and Sky, every other month we have a $12.50 subscription service where we lose $12.50 to pay the other person back.
So true.
Oh.
It's because I have to pay a subscription service to Sky to be the friend that does a bunch of art. Vital, you son of a bitch!
Let's go.
Choo-choo.
Do the hype train. Do it.
Yeah, $12.50, Shadow, because you get half of this money from the subs, and it costs $25, but we make $12.50, so it's a $12.50 subscription service.
It's true.
It's how I
It
pay
does
for
have,
Sky's
like-
friendship.
It does have like benefits in the actual in Twitch, like
yeah.
having subs unlocks emotes and stuff like that. So it has extra benefits.
It's
but
just more
yes,
fun to say it that way.
It is more
Yeah.
fun to say it that way. Okay.
Yeah, L, I see you with your.
I'm doing my part.
God, we made it to level 4 in like 10 seconds. If Greg pulls up what he did before, we have. Oh no. You can't see Elliot because Elliot's not here.
Yes.
Surprise.
We're still waiting on Elliot. Let's go, Foxglove!
Y'all are bastards. I love you all.
I just had to start it, that's how it
doing my
is.
part.
Yeah.
I was 10 minutes late, so this is my apology.
You had to light the fire. It's only fair.
Yes.
The ban realm
I-
is punishing, and don't worry, you don't even have to say don't mess with the moderators, because I will send you there first.
I would say I didn't start the fire, but I did in fact start the fire,
I'm
so.
doing my part.
Debatable, PT. I haven't bonked anybody in a while.
Having said that, Brando, we all know that I don't do timeouts.
No.
Has PT apologized to you
I'm
for
doing
food
my
poisoning
part.
yet? So many times.
Yeah, it literally the moment he heard that I got food poisoning, he was like, "Oh no!" And I was like, "It's okay, you couldn't
I'm
have
doing
known."
my
And I was like, but it's not.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we're gonna get started without Elliot, because I don't know how late he's gonna be. Which is fine, we knew about it ahead of time. But I need to tell Sky the question of the day.
Oh yes, I do need to hear the question of the
In the
day.
dimly lit tavern, an old hooded figure leans in, the flickering candlelight casting eerie shadows on their face, and with a raspy voice they ask, "Travelers, on All Hallows Eve, when the veil between worlds is thinnest, what is the one thing, creature, or memory of your past that you fear might come back to haunt you?"
Oh jeez.
And we're actually just going to go from the top, so we'll start with Lyra Dreamshadow, our Kalishtar wizard from Stipvale, played by...
Okay. Hello, I'm Rosie, on Rosie CS on the internet. Currently crying about math, as I always am. And I think that Lyra's nightmare scenario is one day she wakes up and she's been in the red pits the whole time.
Oh,
this is
gee.
just an elaborate fantasy.
God.
Hang on, I gotta write something down.
Yeah. I know. I knew it as soon as I said it.
And then we have Karakareem, played by... the Warlock Furbolg from The Hedge, played by...
Hello, my name is Terminian Link VT, and Karak doesn't think something will come back from his past. He knows it is, because he already knows Belkin is still out there.
Oh, so true. God damn.
And then we have News and World Walker, the Minotaur Sorbarian from Olfast, played by.
It's me, the Sky T. I was also gonna say the Red Pits because that obviously makes sense for both of us. But I feel like I can't copy, so I'm gonna go derivative a little bit, which is like, she'll wake up and like everything that's happened, she hasn't been in control of. It was like Velkin never left, and he just kicked her out of her body for months.
There are so many wild mindfuckery things that we've done in this campaign that I
Yep.
could just long con and snap you all into instantly.
Yeah. Trauma.
You find out Karak is actually Velkin,
God, can
just
you
playing
imagine?
with your head.
Playing with
God,
his-
that would fuck me up. That would fuck up Newsom so bad, especially because you talked to Karak so much about that shit. Oh my God.
not only that, you are the reason why Nam took the thing anyway.
That's true. I
You're
did.
the
I was like, you do. Yeah, do it.
Do it, man. Another. There's so many things. Oh my word.
And then last but not least, we have Lulin Boldspeaker, the Minotaur Druidin from Olfast, played by.
And me, Rambo.
Well, we already know what you're afraid of coming back. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, pay attention to the today's session or next week's section. You'll get your damn answer.
God damn.
You goddamn monster.
You goddamn monster.
But last week on Bits, Crits, and Halfwits, Guy made a deal, or Newsin, I should say, made a deal. And that's all you get to know about that.
That's so true.
The party got caught in a dagger storm, which rained molten metal from the sky and completely tore up the area around them. And then on their way to Umbreon's hold, they encountered a rainstorm, a very special rainstorm. A rainstorm that inspired paranoia, that only one of them is still under the effects of. Lyra, just as a reminder.
Yeah, thank you.
And from that point, they continued up the path towards the ridge overlooking the city, and they began to hear whispers in the wind of their failures. Things that they were afraid of, their insecurities. They successfully pushed through and made it to the city, where they saw an old friend was being used to open and close the gate, and they could do nothing to stop it. And then they got some directions in the city that I hope you wrote down, because I'm not going to lay out the city anymore. And I didn't write them down. That's actually why I hope you wrote them down. If anybody has that, send it to me.
I have them. I will send them. If they will load.
PT really made that thing up on the fly.
Oh, 100%. And where we ended, they were looking down the street towards the gate to the city of Ohans, which is what they came here to find.
Boy, howdy, didn't we?
And that is where we pick up with you all standing in this kind of semi-crowded market street. Looking towards a large gate with a bridge that seems to go to the island that Ohans is floating on in this kind of molten lake.
Well, I think it's best that we don't waste time.
Mm-hmm.
And is it just gonna... I mean, like, is it, like, guarded? Is it open?
So there do seem to be guards around the gate, but the gate is open and there are people going in and out of it. Seemingly freely.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're approaching the gate.
Yes.
As all of you approach the gate, you see that standing on either side of it are the same types of Minotaur that you saw at the front gate, where they're wearing heavy armor and, most importantly, metal masks over their heads, with their horns exposed, but seemingly welded or riveted on. And as you make your way through the gate, they all kind of turn and look at you. Not really suspicious per se, but just watching the comings and goings of the people who are going into the city.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think
if you all walk through the gate, you successfully manage to cross the rickety wooden bridge over the boiling lava. And you make it to Ohan's. Finally.
Finally.
I think Nuzin, not really knowing how important this dude that she is masquerading as being, is gonna kind of like puff her chest up and like roll the shoulders back and kind of try and give that air of like, yeah, I know where I'm going and I belong here. So that nobody talks to us.
You seem to do a pretty successful job. As you make your way down the street, people seem to see the robes that you're wearing. And they're clear that you could run down the street and people would be moving out of the way fast enough that you wouldn't touch them.
Okay.
Karok's just kind of gonna be looking around because this is not a city from his place supposedly, and so he's just kind of like, this place looks. It's like trying to see just how anything that might be different.
Karok, you come from a world where the cities are grand stone ornamented buildings. They're massive constructions. They are designed, for lack of a better word, by the gods themselves. And the city you walk into is anything but. It has many seemingly open-walled houses. There's large amounts of plants growing everywhere. The streets are dirt, not cobblestone. From where you're at, this looks like one of the outlying villages rather than any sort of prominent city. But the buildings are stacked up on top of each other and next to each other. There's thriving markets where furbolgs, mostly furbolgs, you don't see a lot of minotaurs selling anything, are selling goods. And notably, since you've stepped through the gates, you haven't seen a single guard. You don't see anybody carrying weapons inside.
So, do all cities look like this where you're from?
More or less. I mean, usually it's not so. I would say more people usually carry like weapons and wear armor and stuff like that, but Ohans doesn't like that kind of thing, so.
Just, I will say it is very quaint. Very different from what I'm used to.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people do what they gotta do to get by and don't make too much trouble. The clip-clopping feet of other minotaurs walking in the streets.
I suppose I should ask at this point, is there anything in particular you guys are looking for? Or are you just kind of looking around? Is there somebody that you're intending to find?
To be fair, the person who said that we were supposed to come here with said they'd find us.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm keeping an eye out for, is like anyone with suspiciously green eyes that might be
Puppy,
looking at us.
chat requested you. Come here. Come here.
Oh my god.
And for your
Puppy reveal?
and for your effort, chicken nugget.
Oh,
Aww.
I want a chicken nugget for my effort.
Well, you are not my dog, so you do not get chicken nuggets for your effort.
Damn.
They want you to come up again a second chicken nugget. Come here. Come here. Get up here.
I would like a chicken nugget.
Get up here. Sit. Well, wait, you can't sit while you're up here. Here, just have your chicken nugget.
Well, you have to give Brando a chicken nugget. He's the world's most perfect man.
Yeah.
I threw you a chicken nugget. We'll see if it makes it to Pencil. Tucky.
Well, there goes that.
Get
Hey,
doxed, I guess.
Pencil Tucky is an actual definition of an area, though.
Pencil Tucky.
Oh, Christ!
Yeah, get doxed, I suppose.
Oh my god.
Boop. Anyways,
Pencil Tucky.
well, that was awkward. So you all are just kind of wandering your way through the town, and from the immediately, nobody's really paying attention to you. Nothing strikes you as odd. And everybody's kind of just giving you a wide berth right now.
Okay.
Roll me perception checks.
Do I think anyone's like recognizing us? Or like for me, I guess I'm the only one that's not.
Roll me a perception check.
Cool.
I definitely remembered to have the game open. I did that.
I'm sure you
Mine
did.
was like struggling to load today.
Did you have hardware acceleration on?
No, because I use a totally separate browser now to open it. I don't know.
Huh.
Ah.
That is weird.
Yeah.
It
But
loaded
it's okay
fine for
now.
me.
Yeah, guys, did you think I was kid? Chat, Pencil Tucky is an actual place.
Yeah, Pencil Tucky is an actual thing.
That's crazy.
I recovered, but
It
not as
shouldn't be.
badly as you all clearly thought I did, considering you went looking it up. All right.
I mean, I figured you just looked at the two cows and put our states together.
Shut up.
You're gonna look
What
at
are
me
you
and tell me
talking
that I'm wrong?
Wrong?
No, I'm not going to look at you at all.
You can look at me once I finish eating my dinner.
Fair. So, Lulin and Lyra, you can't really tell anything about the people around you. It seems like everybody's just going about their daily business, just kind of treating you like every other citizen of the town.
Yeah.
Karak and Nuzin, you're looking around at everyone, and you see, at first nobody's looking at you, and then you realize that in one of the alleys, there's a figure that's about roughly just under 6 feet tall, wearing a green hood and black clothing, and they kind of look at you for a second, and when they notice that you're looking back at them, they just take a couple steps back into the alley.
I'm gonna take a few steps that direction nonchalantly and see if they bolt.
Seeing that you're like nonchalantly walking towards the alley, you watch as they look at you and then turn and very casually begin walking down the alley.
Okay. Newsom's just gonna kind of give like a head nod this direction to the rest of the group and walk in that direction.
Yeah.
To keep it subtle, because there's lots of ears that can overhear us right now.
Yeah. Karak will be following, considering they saw the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Lyra and Lulin, do you just kind of pick up on this and begin following along?
Yeah.
No, well, yes, but also Lyra's gonna say, kind of, in her classic, not very subtle way, "Oh my god, someone's watching us. Oh my god, someone's watching us."
God.
Calm down. Everybody's watching everybody all the time.
That's way worse. That's so much worse.
I don't see how that's worse. I'll be honest. Like, that's just things that people do. People are moving and people look at moving things.
Why are they looking at us?
So you all kind of nonchalantly head over to this alley. And as you look down the alley, you see that it's relatively dark. The roofs of the buildings on either side of it have clearly been combined and cover the alley, so there's really not a lot of natural light. But at the back of the alley, there appears to be a door with kind of like the flickering sign of torchlight coming from underneath it, and the figure is nowhere to be seen.
Lyra's gonna look up at because we're in an alley, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's looking up at she's like, they're gonna drop on our heads. I don't like this.
Lyra.
Mm-hmm.
When you look up, you see a symbol scrawled on the wall.
Ooh.
These,
Is it magical? Yeah, sorry.
the symbol itself appears to be made out of just regular chalk, but it appears to be a minotaur with both of its horns missing.
Hmm.
Hey guys, do you see that?
Oh,
Does it look like news?
Does it?
don't. Doesn't Newton have horns?
It's like a
Well-
very basic.
Okay.
It's literally
Yeah,
like
but does it
it's like a
evoke-
chalk it's like a chalk drawing that you could throw up in like 10 seconds.
I guess Karak, technically I have false horns.
Oh, there's no shame in that.
Oh, yes, there is.
No, it's just like people need prosthetics all the time. Like, it's okay. Sometimes that happens. I'm pretty sure I knew a hunter at one point that had like they just had a hand they lost one and then they got a new one.
I were gonna say they just had a hand and there, and I was like, wow,
They
crazy.
were only a hand.
Yeah,
That's all that.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I appreciate the sentiment, but I was magically put to sleep while caged and then had them sawed off, so it's a little bit more sensitive than that.
Ah. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, and I just know that I don't think any less of you for now knowing that you had your horns removed.
It's fine, you know. I guess Newson's gonna like stand under this like a sign, I guess.
So the symbol is just chalked onto the brick wall
Oh, okay.
to the side of the doorway. And as you approach the doorway, you see that the door almost begins to shift a little bit. And notably, actually, I suppose Luland, you would see this as well. So everybody but Karak sees this. As a kind of flickering text almost seems to burn itself into the door, and it says the Scarlet Hollow.
Why does Karak not see this?
Because Karak's never been to the Red Pits.
Ah, got it.
You guys
But I
doing
guess
okay? You guys are really focusing on the chalk drawing. It's like kids put that up all the time. Are you? Everything okay?
Well, it's not like it's a pretty significant thing to use the symbolism of a minotaur without horns, eh? that's either a threat to all the Minotaur, or it's definitely a threat to something.
Huh.
It's very, very, very dishonorable to have your horns removed and not die.
I have a lot to learn about you all.
Yeah. People, well, elves did that to Minotaurs to, like, shame them. Like, rather than killing them, saw off their horns because it is kind of a point of pride for us.
Oh,
To them, it's a sign of weakness.
it's
Yeah.
it's like hunting an animal, but then not using every part of the animal or not killing it,
Or,
and
like,
instead like that. Okay, I can
Mhm.
see that. That's awful.
yeah.
That's just awful.
Or taking what you need off of an animal but leaving it alive. Really.
Like if you take the antlers off of a deer and then it can't fight anymore, so it's just gonna get hurt again anyway. That's
Yes.
That's messed up.
I mean, the
Yes.
deer will grow new antlers, but
Yeah, I know. I thought about
Yeah,
saying that,
but
but I was like,
but in the meantime, you've basically said, I hope that something else kills you because even though I was hunting you, you are not worth my time. That is awful.
yeah, so for someone to be using that as a symbol in this city is an extreme statement.
Understandable. Loud and clear. Got it.
as you're all standing here, more people are looking down this alley, just watching the group of you standing in it. Kind of like looking at you perplexed. Almost like they can't see something that you can see.
Oh,
We're peeing.
Lyra, please.
I feel like we need an explanation to why we're in here.
Newsom's just gonna try pushing on the door.
Okay. So, Newson, you push on the door, and the door swings open. One second.
Okay.
I realized I didn't have my my note section for this area pulled up. I thought I did. That's a me
Whoops.
thing.
It happened.
So as you push open the heavy wooden door, the first thing that strikes you is that there's a kind of a warm ambient glow bathing the room, but nothing is particularly bright. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
got
just
like
kind of-
mood lighting. The walls have kind of these deep red tapestries covering them that all seem to be depicting battles of one kind or another. As you head inside to the left, there's a grand fireplace roaring, and it stretches almost the entire length of the wall. In the center of the room, there's a bar with bottles and colors behind it, and then there's a ladder that it seems that the bartender uses to get to the really top shelf stuff. The floor is made of kind of the same dark obsidian stones as the rest of the streets here. And as you head inside, you would almost expect there to be a record scratch moment, right? But there isn't, as it seems like the 2 or 3 patrons that are in this bar are kind of tucked away in their own corners. And the only real person who gives you any notice as you walk in is the bartender, who looks up at you all, and they're a minotaur, but they're relatively short. You can tell they're a relatively young minotaur. They stand at about 6 feet tall, which would put them at roughly their teenage years. And they have kind of this ruddy reddish brown fur with no real clear markings and dark brown horns. Anybody who wants to can roll me an insight check.
I'm so good at those.
Samesies.
Oh, it was actually a decent roll for me.
Ooh.
Lear is sussing things out.
Oh, she's not normally very insightful.
Newson, you would be aware as you look at them that there's some sort of shift in the horns between the base of the horn and the points. Lulin and Lyra, you both become aware as you look into it that while the horns are being magically affected to look like they are all one thing, from about 2 inches from the base of the horn forward, these horns are made out of wood.
In hell?
Damn. I think that Lyra is gonna sort of like nod at them and then like try to subtly gesture, like look at their heads, I guess, to Newsom.
Okay. Can I see this once
Once it's been pointed out to you, you kind of see through it and you realize that their horns are fake. Something I can get you all? Or are you just gonna keep standing in the door?
What's the house special for today's?
Oh, house special for today? Well, let's see. We have Minotaur Ale, Furball Ale, and that's what we have. I haven't been able
I'll take one of each.
One of each. I haven't been able to get anything from the giants yet, but I'm very interested to see what they have. As he kind of takes 2 bottles off and pours you two small glasses. What brings you in here?
Just helping these fine folks. They saved my tail. So
I can assume
gotta
it's you paying for drinks then.
yeah, first one's on me, guys. Least I could do.
Great.
Wonderful. That's so kind of you. I appreciate that. I'll take a Fearball Gale.
Fearball
Minotaur
Ale,
for
one
me.
coming up. Minotaur for you. What for you, sir?
Just like some orange juice, if you have it.
We don't. What's an orange?
Yeah, that's so true. Whatever. Just your choice.
Alright, Minotaur Ale it is. As he kind of pulls a bottle off and pours a glass and slides them over to the 4 of you. And kind of just goes back to cleaning glasses. As this place still remains relatively empty. But you do notice, especially Lulin, you notice that he keeps kind of glancing back at you all as he's cleaning glasses. Like, a little bit nervous, but not super, like, outwardly threatened. If that makes sense.
Is it us as a group or me specifically?
He's specifically looking at you.
Okay. I
Oh, what do
feel
you get?
like
Oh, sorry.
I think Newsom's probably gonna find like an empty table.
Move away from the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So, Newsom, as you move away from the bar, Lulin, this bartender, walks up and he kind of leans in and he goes, "So you said a flamekeeper saved your life?"
Yeah, we was going through one of those what the fuck's they called? One of those storms that's like raining fire and metal and shit.
They have storms here that rain fire and metal.
Yeah,
Oh, the Dagger Storm.
that's what it's called. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
It's really not.
It really isn't.
No,
It's
I-
very
I-
rare, though. I will say it very rarely happens. I'm surprised I ever got to see one.
So you must be from here then, if you've been allowed outside the city.
I would say so. Been here for honestly longer than I can remember.
Well, any secrets you can give to me? Are they actually selling me the good ale, or am I getting screwed?
Oh,
Elliot, for some context, right now you guys are in like a speakeasy bar called the Scarlet Hollow.
If I'm being honest with you, sirs, if I'm being real generally honest with you, Giant Ale doesn't compare to Minotaur Ale. Not It good, but it ain't nothing like good Minotaur ale.
And then I'm gonna look over to Karak. Now I ain't talking bad about Furbolg ale. That shit's pretty good too.
That's completely fine.
I mean,
I would resort to you on matters like this. I don't drink too often.
I mean, if you're from here and you want to try some good Minotaur ale, I have a couple casks of this from this guy we back in our place we call Brave Apple, and it's going for several gold a cup because I don't think I'll be able to get any more.
I squeaked.
How much gold we talking? Honestly, you know what? I haven't even paid you yet for the first round yet. How much do I owe you there, bud?
How about you tell me the full story of how you ended up with a Flamekeeper and we'll call it even. Or what brings you to Ohans, because if you're from outside the city, I mean, we haven't had a lot of people from the rest of the hold coming in here. Most of them seem to avoid this part of the city.
Me personally, I don't know what their obligation is. I was caught in the tracks. They saved my tail. I owe them a big favors. I was doing my normal routes. The storm came up.
What kind of favor?
Shit got real.
How much of a favor would you say you owe them?
Well, considering my hide was on the line, decent.
He kind of almost stopped talking to you, Lulin. He kind of just nods and then goes back to cleaning glasses.
Just look.
Sorry, continue.
It's so good. Karok's just looking around while this tense situation goes. Well, I don't think we should let these drinks go to waste. Bottoms up, and just downs the Fearbolg ale.
As you down the ale, you're filled with a warm feeling of comfort.
Oh, I haven't had stuff like this in a while.
Newson, you make your way over to a table, and you see that a couple of the other patrons are kind of looking up at you, and you see across the room sitting there kind of just head down, very clearly not watching you all, just trying not to be seen, is the figure in the cloak.
Okay.
And as they hold their hand out and they grab their drink, you realize that they are a human.
Okay. That explains a lot. Did we cover if we're able to drop our disguises at will?
You did not.
Okay.
And you don't know if you're able to.
Yeah. Or if we just have to ride out the duration. For now, I think Newson's gonna keep up the appearance because she doesn't know. Well, she has a suspicion that this guy, or that the bartender, doesn't like what the person she's impersonating represents. So she's just gonna kind of sit down huffily and kind of keep up that air of
I'm better than this place.
Yeah. And sip this beer or ale and see. Does it actually does it taste like Minotaur ale?
It does taste like Minotaur ale. He did give you an actual drink.
Okay.
It just seems like that's all he's willing to give you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was being sold rip-off ale, like they said it was Minotaur, but it's actually Elven.
As you taste it, you realize that it actually is kind of a Minotaur ale from your world.
Okay. She's just gonna kind of swirl it and put an arm over the back of the chair and just okay, I'm gonna let everybody else do this for the time being, and if I need to get rid of this, I'll try. But
what are the rest of you doing?
I'm just sitting at the bar with Lulin, I would say.
So is it starting to get a little dark out, I assume? Or are we
Uh,
day drinking?
you're more or less. I mean, it's evening, but you're more or less day drinking.
Don't call me out
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
We followed a strange figure down an alley into a bar, and when you go into a bar, you buy a drink.
We followed a strange figure into a bar. Are we spying on people? Who are we spying on?
They
They
are
were
spying
watching
on
us.
To be fair, yeah, they were spying
and
on
now
us.
we're spying back.
But
Yeah.
we're following them. What?
Yeah.
Okay, so
While you
they
explain
were
this,
looking
I'm
at-
gonna get water.
Yeah. They were watching. We were in the street, kind of looking to see if we saw anyone with like green eyes and stuff, since that's our contact, our Spectra contact. Didn't see that, but did see somebody in this alleyway watching us heavily, like cloaked. And I took a couple steps towards them, and they didn't like run. They like saw me take a couple steps towards them and like turned around and casually walked away. So we followed them to the end of the alley where they vanished, and when we looked around the alley, we saw a chalked symbol of a minotaur with its horns cut off. And then when we looked at the door that was under it, a like name burned itself into the door, and so we went in. And I just noticed that that person is like at the back of the bar trying not to be noticed, basically. So that's where we're at. But everybody in this bar is definitely cagey about my presence because I'm disguised as a flame keeper, who are like the people in cahoots with Lulin's uncle and the god.
I see.
So
Um,
I'm staying out of the way so that people can talk to other people. But Lulin just said he owed me his life, so now the barkeeper is kind of meh about talking to him, so.
I think in that case, Elliot would probably sort of like split off a little bit. And he is just going to go sit down next to the stranger. The guy that we think is spying on us.
As you sit down, because he's sitting in kind of a booth, so I'm assuming you're sitting like across from him. Or are you sitting next to him?
Sit next to him, put your hand on his thigh, you know.
No, I think he'll sit across the table. He'll play a little footsie, though.
As you sit across the table from this guy, he kind of lowers his head further, and you just hear, "Something I can help you with, old timer?"
I don't know. You just looking at us a bit funny. Curious what you got against us, for us.
Nothing against you. Just rare
About
seeing,
us.
just rare seeing humans here.
There's humans here?
You.
You're
You're
disguised
disguised.
as
Disguised as an old man.
you disguised as the old man.
Elliot just fully forgot.
When you say that, the figure kind of chuckles. Well,
So are you human? I mean, you don't kind of look human. But,
of course I'm a human. Roll me a history check, because something about the way that was said sounds very familiar.
cool. Alright, I'm on a different machine. I was roofing today, and then Home Depot fucked up my truck. And so,
That's so fun and funky.
yeah, it's a whole thing. I disagree.
Not Little Red.
Not Little Red. It is Little Red. I got it back like 4 days ago.
You're
I
he's
will hurt
destined
somebody.
to die.
Listen, you give me names, I'll hunt down who hurt Little Red.
Little Red is a lich that Elliot refuses to let die.
Literally.
Yeah.
He
That was
is
his
a
history or
necromancer
insight?
of cars. It was history. He is a necromancer of cars. A mechromancer, if you will.
Yes.
A necromancer.
I love.
I believe we
love
call them
that.
mechanics.
Truckromancer?
No, mechanics are car doctors.
No, engineers are car
It's
doctors.
different.
No,
No.
engineers are
No.
engineers are not doctors.
Mechanics are doctors. They fix the problems.
No, but the problem means the car is dead.
engineers
They've
are the
revived the
nurses that help
car.
give birth.
Engineers are the
Yeah, I was
ones
gonna say,
claiming there is
engineers was
intelligent
darker.
design.
All right.
Engineers are the parents. Goddamn.
God.
No. You, the person who owns the car, is the parent. Engineers are the stork that flies your car baby to you.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
I
Yeah.
see.
All
I
right.
see.
How cool should
They're
be.
sort of
With
like
an al-
mythical and, you know.
Yeah,
With-
exactly.
Can I re-roll that? I'm gonna re-roll that.
Yeah,
boys.
reroll it.
Sure, we have 38 rerolls.
38.
It's not like there's a.
Only a casual 38.
Yeah.
Gotta
Much
pump those
better.
Worth the
numbers.
re-roll, boys.
That was definitely worth the reroll.
You're trying
Absolutely.
to
Money
place
can't
the
buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
Beyond Oasis. Thanks for the $15 donation.
Let's fucking go.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
They want a magical item.
They do want a magical item. If you are in the Discord, Beyond, you can put your magical item in the what's the channel called? Magic for items for the box.
Yep. A very astute name.
Mm-hmm.
The box has been reworked, and the box will start coming up soon.
More often.
Soon, and non-optionally.
Yay!
Listen here.
Yay!
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 Elliot,
Tara
you
has
can't.
no idea what that is.
You
I
can't
don't.
put a face to this voice, but as you're listening to it, trying to figure out where you're piecing it, you remember sitting around a fire with another group of adventurers.
Oh,
And you've only ever done that once.
I was gonna say. Who was the human in that group?
There were two humans in that group. It was Avery and Roe.
And this is not Avery or Roe, is it?
You can't really tell. The role was good, but they're very clearly trying to keep their voice, like, different. It was only
see.
that you caught them kind of off guard that let their normal voice slip through.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is my disguise bad enough that they might recognize me?
If you were ever wondering why they were looking at you in the street.
Can Lyra remove the mustache? Or is it stuck there?
I think it's like
It's-
real.
Lyra just
Like,
has
just
them.
touching it.
Real
I'll be real. I was
But it's
imagining
a
like
magic real mustache. You can't shave that.
I'll be real. I was imagining like a pair of like cursed Groucho Marx glasses so they just don't come off.
Oh my god.
Curse of binding, anybody?
Anyways,
Literally curse of binding.
Yeah.
anyways, old timer, what brings you here?
Oh, you know, dropped through space and time into a place we never should have ended up. Classic story. And yours?
Well, we can't tell the same story twice, old timer.
Why not?
Because then it gets old. Every good
I
storyteller
like
knows
old
you need
stories.
some variation.
What are you saying about old things?
Dang it.
Saying that somebody actually old would be a lot less concerned about them.
What are you saying about me?
The figure kind of leans in and goes, "Oh, come on. We all know you're not who you're pretending to be. Which one are you? Elliot, Nom?"
Newson.
I don't. The figure kind of looks up at you, and you realize as they like show you their face that this is Avery, the person who last you heard was in an elven prison somewhere.
Can I roll deception at disadvantage?
You absolutely can, and I will roll insight.
I can't wait for Elliot to impersonate me.
Gonna be great.
That was still really good.
Lyra's glasses are just Clark Kent glasses.
So Elliot, you say that you're Newsin, And with a 23 on deception, you unfortunately do not beat a natural 20.
Damn!
Oh.
As Avery just raises an eyebrow and goes, Newson doesn't like me enough to have a conversation, so which one are you actually? I know you're not Lyra. She's over there at the bar.
Yeah. This is what happens when we let her pick her own disguises. It won't happen again.
I just realized that's exactly enough members to include Knob.
It is. You are not.
Oh.
Congratulations.
So that makes you Elliot then. Or Nom. I'm still not quite sure.
Well, I'd be a little delicate about the Nom situation. He's no longer with us.
Nom's dead? What happened to him?
Lyra may or may not have screwed up a spell.
Lyra killed Nom?
Well,
Gosh. Cute
we
and
don't have
dangerous.
a confirmed kill yet, but not a confirmed kill. There's some discussion as to whether or not being ejected into the pure magic energy of a teleport spell would kill someone.
Oh,
Those
what's the
who are
discussion
ignorant
about?
about
How quickly
Magnich.
it would happen?
Well, some of them believe, and by those some I mean those who didn't get, a college education, that they could be ejected somewhere, but who knows?
Oh my god, Elliot.
Well, I see that things haven't been quite so good for you either then. As the fake accent
No.
just totally drops. Alright.
So, how'd you get out of prison?
How'd you get out of prison?
I wasn't in prison.
Neither was I. Not
The
really.
same story twice.
Interesting.
No,
Um,
funny enough, after the end of the war, it's common practice to release your prisoners of war. I mean, they wanted to hold me on some minor counts of espionage, but then some elven noble stepped in, cleared my name.
Oh shit, was it my brother?
Now, old chap.
Ah, probably my uncle. Maybe.
Your uncle's a tall guy.
Yeah. Pretty tall. Got like robes. Dashing adventurer type.
No, this one was more of a religious type.
That doesn't bode well.
No, said he was from,
Eh.
he was from some monastery. Zoit, maybe?
So what? Is that up by the tree?
I don't know, I'm not an elf. And you've all been so cagey with your maps over the last 100 years. Nobody really knows what your territory looks like.
It's not that complicated. It's a fucking desert.
Ah, yes.
It's been there a couple thousand years.
Wow, you really are you're just a master of secrecy. It's the things within the desert that people are worried about. Anyways, what are you drinking? Do you want another round? As he kind of raises his hand up.
I'm not. I think I need to be sober for what I'm doing next.
Oh, what's that?
I gotta go save a bear.
You're going after Gazpacho then.
Yup.
Should probably talk to the boss.
Who's the boss?
He'll be around shortly. The minute whichever one of you it is walked in looking like a flamekeeper, somebody had to sound a signal. Wasn't
Makes
me.
sense.
Probably the
Newson
bartender.
huffs gruffly.
Wait, can Newson hear this conversation?
You said
I noticed them, but I don't know if I can overhear it.
just roll me a perception check.
Because Elliot would have been
DC 16.
intentionally being quiet.
Yeah. I was really just doing it as a flavoring. That would be a no.
So you can see Elliot talking to this person and this person glancing over to you, but you can't tell what they're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more just keeping up the appearance for now.
Sorry.
The bartender
Well,
walks over, kind of looks down, and Avery looks back at him and goes, "We'll have what do you drink? Furbolg or Minotaur ale for you, Elliot? Or I suppose, what name are you going
Furbolg.
by, in terms of keeping up your illusion?"
Geralt.
Gerald.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'll have a Minotaur ale and whatever Gerald here wants. As the bartender kind of turns and looks at you.
Furbolg ale.
All right, Furbolg ale it is. He kind of looks down at Avery and he goes, "Everything good here? Planned meeting?" And Avery just kind of waves his fingers at him. As the bartender turns around and heads back to the bar, where as he's getting their drinks, he looks at Lyra and Karak. "Gentlemen, drinks seem about half empty. Can I get you another?"
I think one will be enough, but I'll be staying with my compatriot here for at least a little bit.
Aye. How'd you two come across the Flame Keeper? And kind of looks at Lulin. Him.
Well, we were just sort of making our way through. We all got caught up in the same storm. I was lucky enough to have seen the signs beforehand and was quick enough to warn everybody before the Flamekeeper showed up and did something, some sort of magical barrier or something like that. I'm not quite certain on exactly what happened.
So you two owe the Flamekeeper your lives as well.
I mean,
I wouldn't say my life. More of a favor.
I wouldn't say my life either, personally. Just one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Came here, got a bit curious. Never been far away from the city for a while, so I assumed might as well check out the new sights. Very, very, very strange. I haven't seen a place like this in the center of town before.
Interesting. And you, sir, what about you? As he kind of looks at Lyra.
I was in a bubble, so I think I survived the storm just fine on my own, you know? Don't owe my life to anybody. Except for my bubble, I guess.
So what brought you to Ohans? Sir, what brought you to Ohans?
We heard there was good ale.
Roll me a deception check. At whatever you want to.
Oh,
Disadvantage if you just want to fail it.
Yeah.
Kind of looks at you and he goes, "Just the ale?"
Yeah, sure, yeah. That's me, ale drinker. She takes a teeny little sip.
An aficionado, this one.
Lyra's the type to hold the ale up to their ear to confuse all the sommeliers.
She's listening to the crackle.
He
She heard
kind
there were notes of wood and went to go listen.
Oh
He kind of looks at you, Lyra, as he finishes pouring these two drinks, and he carries them back over to Avery and Elliot. And as he sets them down, the door to the bar just slams open, and there is a hulking figure standing in the doorway.
Okay.
As
recognize them?
this large minotaur steps in, and immediately everybody but Karak realizes who this is as Elnis steps through the door and slams it behind him.
Oh, hi, Eldis. I mean, wait, I don't know you.
Eldis kind of snaps his head and looks at you. Lyra!
No, I'm not.
Lilith's gonna like pinch his nose, and he's gonna be like, "God damn it, Lyra!"
I'm clearly
And, like, use his actual voice. Hi, Elnis.
I'm sorry, who's
How's it
this?
going?
He kind of turns towards you, Lulin. And he just kind of stops and looks directly at you as he kind of looks you over. Nos. You're not meant to be in here.
I'm sorry, do you know this person?
Guys, I think our disguises kind of backfired a little bit.
We came to the wrong place disguised as the wrong people.
Yeah.
Disguises?
I mean, sorry, no disguises. No disguises anywhere.
I'm very, very confused right now. That seems to be a trend.
No one is disguised.
Eldest reaches back behind him and grabs what seems like a bar next to the door and just drops it down across the doorway.
Lulin pulls out the movable rod that he was given, the Cresseria twig, in hopes that he would recognize it.
I don't think Eldest has ever seen you use it.
No, but wasn't he part of the same party when Lulin got it?
Was he?
Was he not?
I don't think he was there. As you kind of reach back and start pulling out the immovable rod, you watch as Elnis's hand drops to a mace on his side.
Hey?
Slow
Hey?
there. Slow there, boy.
All right.
I think
Lulin's hands are up and like behind his head.
Newsom,
Do you want me to vouch for you?
roll me a con save.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, did my drink get drugged? Thankfully, I am good at those. That's a 26.
As you... How do you react to this, like, seemingly brewing fight, Newsom?
She's just getting to her feet right now, I think, and, like, taking a step forward. Obviously, I know who Elnis is, so...
As you stand up and take a step forward, even with a 26, you feel sluggish.
Woo, Jesus. Do his horns look the same as they used to?
He does still have the metal horns.
Okay.
He kind of points at you. You sit right back down, Flamekeeper. You've no part of this.
Oh, funny story. We are disguised. I'm Lyra.
So you're disguised as Lyra. You're not actually her.
No.
Well, that makes this easier. As he pulls the mace, and just seemingly like wraps a cord over his wrist to hold it in place.
No, the mustache is the disguise. Obviously.
I think we all need to calm down, have a drink, figure out what's going on here.
As
Just like
he's
getting
like
up and holding his hands out, just like
as you get up, he takes a step forward, and Elliot across from you, Avery just goes, "They're telling the truth." Even though the disguises are shite.
What? Mine's so good.
One of our disguises is shite.
Presumably,
Describe
Elvis.
yours is fantastic, Newson.
Well, look, I didn't know who I was.
He kind of like glances over when he hears Elvis. Just looks over when he hears that, and he goes, "You chose that. You chose to wear that."
Chose what?
Look,
Where is a weird word.
As opposed
Yes,
to.
this is-
we didn't know what we were walking into. This guy was an ass and obviously was a part of the city, so...
it does fit the part of where we are. Well, not exactly where we are, but where we are.
So he kind of like takes the mace, and he's still like very obviously unsure. Like he's tapping the mace against the side of his thigh as he's thinking about what you're saying. See, here's the thing. Is I would love to believe you all. And Avery, you know, I'd love to believe you too, but you have a penchant for being deceived. Prove you are who you say you are.
All you gotta do is touch my horns. You made them.
Well, shite. That's a pretty good bargaining chip. I mean, that might prove you're you, but the rest of you, I mean, if you're all in disguises, how do you know your friends are who they say they are?
Luna's gonna pull out a flask. I got the same shit that he has in the back.
Aye, but you wouldn't be the only one who has Brave Apple. And you wouldn't be the first one that our dear leader has sent to the bar. Perhaps we should have a meeting in the back.
I mean, has anybody tried? Can I, like, try and, like, dismiss this disguise? Is there a way to attempt to dismiss?
So you think about dismissing it, and you just hear a voice in your head. Once you do that, darling, there's no going back.
I mean, at this point, it seems like it's probably... We found our friends, so... Hey, I mean, I've seen what he looks like. I can do it to myself.
No response.
Okay. Do I look like myself?
If you are continuing to think about dropping it, you all watch as there's a brief flash where Nuzin appears as this flame keeper, and then you watch as the illusion kind of, like, dissolves away, leaving Nuzin. Suppose that's a pretty good argument as well.
Look, I don't want to get my ass kicked accidentally.
Oh, hopefully not on purpose either. Cliff, we need to use the back room. Let's go, all of you.
Okay.
As Elnis, like, puts the mace back in, and he's really not wearing, like, he's not wearing any armor. The belt he's wearing is very, like, it's not a sophisticated belt. It is like a rope belt with a piece of leather on it to hold this mace. And then in true Elvis fashion, he continues to be shirtless.
Of course.
As he kind of makes his way to the back of the bar and opens a door and gestures for you all to go through it. Avery, across from you, Elliot, kind of stands up and goes, "So we get to it then?"
Yeah, I suppose, as Elliot sort of follows the group.
Luna's gonna drop some more gold for the barkeeper. Another round, please. With like a shit-eating grin.
He's gonna look back at you, and he's just gonna take the gold and go, "Of course. Another round for friends of the owner." As Eldis, he kind of gestures you all in, and when you're all inside, he kind of like stops Avery and he goes, Give us just a moment outside." Closes the door behind him, leaving you guys, and it's kind of like, it's almost what you would expect from like a hidden gambling room. Like it's a round table, a couple chairs, and then everywhere else in the room is like storage stuff for the bar. Like barrels, food, extra glasses, stuff like that. As he leaves you in here, and you hear him and Avery begin talking about something outside the door, but they're very obviously trying to keep their voices down.
I am very obviously gonna try and listen at the opposite side.
All right. Roll perception.
Oh, that was a really good roll. That's 23.
How are you listening to this conversation?
Ear to the door.
I'm telling you, Elnis, I don't know how they got here, but I think this changes things. Doesn't change a damn thing. We still have to go through with the plan. Yes, but listen, I mean, think about where we're at. Drago's in prison, Ares missing, Gazpacho's strung up at that damn gate. You still want to... I mean, we have, what? 4 or 5 Minotaurs on our side right now, and you still want to try and get through this gate? Listen! I don't know what things are like where you come from, but 4 or 5 of ours is enough. We can do this. Elnis, you're going to get us all killed. I love you dearly, but this is not a good plan. Listen, once we get through the gate, all we have to do is get into the prison. Once we can start unlocking cells, we're golden. Yes, you see that relies on a lot of ifs. If we get through the gate, if we can start unlocking cells. I mean, Elnis, they killed a bloody dragon outside Allfast. You have to ask them to help. Listen, kid, I understand that you want to save your brother and your friends. I really do. But bringing them in is risky. I mean... And the voices kind of get quieter, Newsom, so you barely pick up what's said next.
Mm-hmm.
Nolan's uncles are already looking for him in every part of the city. They already know they're here. I mean, they have an entire task force of Flamekeepers dedicated to finding them. The minute we bring them in on this, we're going to have the whole city coming down on us, and not just Ohans, all of the hold. Don't you think you should at least ask them first? I mean, if they can help us, we need them to. Fine. And, Newson, you hear the door turn. Like, the door handle turn.
Jumps back. And acts casual.
Roll deception to act casual.
I'm as good at deception as Lyra is.
So, the two of them come through the door, and they close it behind you, and Avery, like, moves to the far corner of the room and hops up and sits on a barrel. As Elnis looks at you all. So how did you all end up here? Unless,
Well,
have you been hiding in the city this entire time?
It's the classic story of... It's the classic story of our friends get kidnapped to another dimension. We risk everything to save them.
I've just been here the whole time.
This is a fucking rando. We picked this guy up on the way.
He kind of looks at you, Karak, and he goes, so you're new to this whole mess?
I would say so.
He's been a rock for a few
Fantastic.
thousand years, so...
That
all due
been missing
respect.
the last 1,000.
All due respect to you and yours. I don't know you. Get out.
You know, that's fair. And just proceeds to walk out because Rock's not here to make any more enemies.
Hey, but we know him. We vouch for him. We risk our lives to save the people in this city.
And well,
We
that might
vouch
be,
for this guy.
well, that might be the case. You've been here in Ohans how long?
Like
And
an hour, maybe?
Like 10 minutes? I don't know.
So with all due respect, friend, I'm gonna ask you to wait outside.
Of course. And just proceeds to leave. By the way, I forget, is the bartender in the room with us?
No, the bartender's still at the bar.
Okay. I'm just gonna go, before I leave, I'm just gonna turn around and be like, I do want to say that apple brew ale that I had a while back, that was really damn good. I just want someone other than the people I'm traveling with to know that, and just leaves.
The bartender kind of looks at you and he goes, "You don't have to leave the bar. You just have to not be in the back room.
Well, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, come take a seat. Tell me a little bit
Nice.
about yourself.
Perfect.
Pour you another round before I take one of your friends."
Ah.
In the back room, Elnis closes the door after Karak leaves, turns around, looks at you all, and goes, "So how long have you been here?"
In the dimension?
Is that where we are?
We're in the Feywild.
you're in
yeah.
the lock.
Yeah.
Alright, well, there's been a healthy amount of discussion on whether we're in the past, the future, another place like the pits, which seems to be the most likely scenario.
Simply
Yeah.
on its whole separate plane.
Well, fantastic.
So
But,
we have what?
How did
4
you
days?
end up here?
well, you weren't the only ones our friends called when Roe got captured. I just happened to be closer. I was already in Olfest.
Got it.
I made it to the
How
city.
did you get to this other dimension?
Well, I was in the city when it was brought here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I got to the city, what, Avery? 2-3 days before they showed up? Something like that. I don't know. I've been pissed drunk since we...
Who is they?
What do you mean, who's they?
Hey.
Showed up.
I mean, I've been here. Obviously, Avery and his brother are here. Ares here. Drago's in a cell somewhere.
Yeah.
No, you said I was in the city 2 days before they showed up.
Oh,
Who was they?
yeah, the big guys. A couple of them. Listen, once they caught
Guys.
Roe, something like that. Yeah, they use some sort of magic to pull the city here. It was interesting to say the least. But it was like the city was
We're gonna
swallowed
have to be
in
more descriptive
shadow.
than that.
I was getting there, lad. God. It's the one thing you can never deal with elves. You'd imagine if they, with how long they live, they're a little more patient.
Would you like to get to the goddamn point?
Show
Only a
you.
half elf. I only got half the time.
He's gonna kind of put a hand on the mace and go, I'll show you the point. I'll show you about 6 of them. Sorry.
Wow. Just like a Minotaur to get straight to violence.
Hey.
Yeah, I'll let music kick your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless.
All I'm saying is if you describe the magic enough, me and Lyra might be able to learn enough to reverse it.
Whatever they did started in the center of the city. It was strange. It was like color was drained out of the city. Then the sky fell black and, well, in a sense it felt like you fell asleep, yeah? Kind of. I don't know. Have you ever had a moment where you're going to sleep and you close your eyes and it feels like you close them and open them again and hours have passed? Like, just instantly,
Interesting.
nothing in between. Like, you don't
Elliot is
remember
like furiously
sleep.
taking notes.
You
Yeah,
don't remember sleeping. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And when we came
Interesting.
to
You say color was drained. It has a chromatic component?
something like
Lead
that.
to some sort of abjuration, perhaps? Just hints of.
Well,
Okay.
it doesn't really sound like any teleportation that I'm aware of. I mean,
I mean,
Me neither.
well, I mean,
Perhaps more similar to.
Avery kind of leans forward. I mean,
final-
you guys, how did you all get here?
A bean brought us.
I,
no, that's right. I was like, wait, I don't remember.
Specifically, not.
we got
Well-
beamed.
and that was before Lyra killed Nom.
Yeah.
Oh, Nom is alive.
We're pretty sure he's alive.
Sure you are.
No, we met somebody who said they'd seen something that was like him, so.
I'm so glad.
Where did they say they saw him, Newson? Was it falling from the sky?
Well, yeah, but, somebody could catch him.
Anyways,
Nom has to be alive.
We haven't heard
you
anything.
say that there's a point of origin of this magic? Have you been there?
I mean, we've been to the square, but nothing on our end looks any different. What about you? I mean, did you
Interesting.
come through
I'd
from
like
the
to-
city on the other side?
Yeah.
What was it? Was there anything different there?
Well, it was just a beach and desert. Like, it wasn't. The city wasn't there.
Well, wasn't one of us able to see like a ghostly image of it?
Elliot was.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, because of True Sight.
Yeah, Elliot saw this. Yeah. from what I've seen, the city is there, but it is also here, which makes me think it's not teleportation. It's some sort of merge. They've merged planes, which I think is
Oh.
similar to how the Center World Tree works. It's similar to what happened when, what was it that got thrown out of the ethereal plane? I don't remember exactly, but I think this might be merge, not necessarily.
So what? The
a
city's in
teleport.
some state of magic superposition.
Yeah.
You could describe it like that, yeah.
And
I
that is
wanna see
hands.
the-
That
this
is
point of
hands
origin.
down the smartest thing any of you have ever heard Avery say.
Yeah. Do you know?
Being in that elven
um,
city really changed you.
Well, listen.
We educate our prisoners. It's part of our torture routine.
Is that what you call? Is that what you call it? The way I had it described to me was re-education. No,
Oh,
no
yeah, no, that's
comment
not
on
the way we describe it.
no
outside
comment
of
on
the
that,
prison.
Elliot. All right.
Oh, no,
So if
it
the
is
city,
torture.
so if the city's in two places at once, maybe whatever they're doing isn't finished yet.
I think
If it
that's
isn't,
probably...
Maybe they've only performed
probably
half a
just
spell.
requires a constant source of power.
Do you know who
It's going to
casted the
require a
magic?
constant source of power to maintain it.
But we definitely know where they're getting the magic from.
Oh.
Alright.
Yeah.
They've got
Go on.
Ro and his sword trapped in some sort of cell. If they're powering the magic with anything, it's my brother. At least until he runs out of fuel. And then I don't know what
Well,
they're
if
going
we
to do
separate
with
the
it.
magic from the spell, it's going to shatter back. But if... I mean, Elliot sort of looks to Lyra. A spell of this magnitude, you can't shut it off immediately.
You
The
cancel out
sheer
some...
shock of the city popping back into one realm is the energy will be replaced. It's like a spring.
The
you just
inertia
let go.
alone.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be bound
We
to
need to be
cause
careful
some
how we
sort of problem.
Disconnect.
Aye. And we need
Yeah.
to seemingly
If
do
only-
it before they
Could
finish
we
whatever
drape
it is they're
energy
up
into the
to.
lock?
Into the what now?
Well, we do need some god magic for that, so
What are
maybe it
the
would work.
What are the two of you on about?
What? So you're in kind of a lock, and we want to unlock it. Yeah.
Only way to do that is to skewer the sky with the essences of a bunch of gods. But when we do that, it kills them, so...
So it's not a great
Elliot just is
solution.
looking at Newson dumbfounded.
What?
Like, skewer the sky?
Yeah,
Is that what magic is to you?
that's what this magic is.
To be fair, it wasn't
Okay.
described the way Newton said it, but more or less, yeah, that's how it was described. It was a shattering
Alright,
of the sky.
then.
Just
We'll
for
go.
No.
We'll go skewer the sky, I guess.
Yeah, that seems. It's just a little. It's kind of a
4
violent.
years of
phrase.
college, and we're gonna skewer a sky.
That
Well, we didn't finish.
okay. So things are kind of making sense now. If
If they're making
So-
sense for you, that's phenomenal. Because nothing's making sense for me.
no, because his idea was to merge the two worlds together, and if the city is somewhere in the middle, well, here but not fully here, then there has to be still a connection.
Alright, so there's a connection between our world and wherever we are, but what the hell does that have to do with a lock and skewering the sky?
We're thinking we can solve
Look,
one
when-
problem with another.
Yeah.
You're obviously missing some background historically.
No, no kidding.
When the gods were locked away. Well, I'm trying to help you.
Appreciate it.
I
This
just
has
have to
nothing to do
translate
with
it
that
into
guy
Kipper.
outside.
What
Guy
guy
outside?
outside?
He kind of opens the door and he looks at Karak and he goes, I trust you as much as I trust the rest of them now. Get your ass in here.
Thank you.
Nah, don't thank me yet.
Okay, will do. And proceeds to just walk in as well. Hello.
So does that have anything to do with this one that you picked up?
My question is, why don't you
Well-
trust us?
Well, I did until you started mentioning that, things like locks.
Well,
You
if
have
you'd let
to
me
admit you
fucking
sound a
finish.
little bit crazy.
Well, okay. When the prehistoric gods were locked away, they were locked away in this realm. They were sent here and then locked in. This city is
so they're
breaking that
actual
lock
gods.
right now.
Wait, they weren't
They are
sent
actual
here.
gods.
This world has always existed. This
Yeah.
isn't a place they were sent to.
Well, yes.
It's like building a
Yes,
gate
but
around
they-
a bunch of cows. The cows didn't get shoved
What
into
are you
the gate.
saying about a bunch of cows?
Yeah, you should probably watch the
Got
cow
me.
language.
Right, let me fix that. A bunch of sheep.
Well,
There you go.
You have to admit, the gods were often traversing to our plane. They were forced back to their home and then locked out. Yes?
I'll be honest, I feel like you're expecting me to know a lot. I was just an advisor to one of the gods. Well, less advisor, more messenger.
Why are you correcting me?
All right, so
Because you don't know as much about the gods as I do. I don't know as much about magic as you do.
I know Velkin.
So do I.
I know the history.
Yes, and I was there for it.
all right.
Okay. Well,
Petty disagreement on
they
who's
were
smarter
forced back to
beside.
this realm and locked in.
We're gonna need to reevaluate some portions of our plan if they're actual gods. We were kind of under the assumption that they were just self-proclaimed gods.
Oh no, they're actual
no,
gods.
they're
Yeah.
gods.
Real deal.
stuff, yeah.
Real deal.
They have a lot of power. Still killable, though.
Theoretically, yeah.
All right.
We just gotta get through 2 ship bags first.
Oh.
Yep.
Newland, you know I love you, buddy, but you're gonna have to get through a whole lot more than 2.
Well, I was thinking of just specifically at the top.
But we might have a dragon to help us, so that's cool.
That is
The
true.
dragon does owe us a favor.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Dragons.
Like
What?
a
Words mean power.
yeah, a giant ancient dragon owes us his life, so
Mm-hmm. He was.
Is this
They
the
were
one
very
you killed?
No.
no,
No.
not
This
the-
is a
no, because
different
that guy wasn't
No,
ancient.
no, that was my
yeah.
uncle.
I
No.
also
No,
they
that was your
apparently
dad.
That was your dad.
also they also owe us, I think,
My
about 3
stepfather.
times the gold we gave them. So do keep that in mind.
True, they do owe us interest on that
Mm-hmm.
100 and something gold.
They
On
made
your
some very
invest-
big promises.
Wait, you invested gold in a dragon?
Yeah, and then we
Keep that.
cured its curse and
Yeah.
it owes us a life debt.
Yeah.
And money.
He said as soon as he got back to his hoard, he would give me more.
Yeah,
Well,
I think he said 2 to 3 times more than what we gave.
Okay.
Very
so
well.
the dragon owes you a couple hundred gold, but more it owes you a life debt that it's willing to fight if we call it. So
Yes.
that's the big thing here. I mean, it is a red dragon, so I don't know how effective a red fire-breathing dragon is going to be against a fire god, but you know.
Avery kind of like
I don't-
is
and there
must
sitting
be
up,
people in this town
sitting
that
on the
think
barrel,
it's
kind of kicks his feet against the barrel and goes, "Well, it is still a dragon. I mean, they have magic, teeth, claws."
Big.
You know the saying, fight fire with fire.
It's big.
I believe the
It's
saying.
really
I believe the saying, my friend, is "Don't fight fire with fire," because then the whole world burns.
Oh.
You know, to be fair, that
think
that
I've
is,
heard of
that
both
is a
ways.
very,
I've heard of both of you.
it must be a weird regional thing.
Aye, like I'm from the region where normal people are from, and
I
you're
thought you
from the
hated
one with
fire.
God.
Fire generally works well for me, I will say.
You are. Oh, no. Last time I said something like that, I got hit.
Ah, you're learning.
Newson
Yeah.
just squints.
Nugent, don't give me that look. I was going to call your girlfriend attractive. You've done well.
Yeah, that's for me to say and you to think internally.
Anyways, Elnis, I believe you had the rest of the meeting notes to go over. Yeah, so, about that. Avery tells me you're looking to go after Gazpacho.
Well,
Yep.
I mean, he's on the list along with everybody that wants to get out of this city, ideally.
Definitely not right to have a bear chained up.
Number
like
one
that.
on my list.
Aye, well, if we can't get to the prison, we've got quite a few friends in there, so to speak.
Yeah, we knew about Drago, now we know.
Aye, Drago, a couple of the other Minotaurs from the pits that saw the light, so to speak. Who else is there? There's that Furbolg, Kieran.
Kieran's there? In the...
You know Kieran?
Yeah?
Then yes.
Yeah.
Alright, Kieran's in one of the cells. She joined up with us early. When everybody came here, there were more than a few Minotaurs who weren't quite fans of the action. But, you know, most of the common folk were, at one point or another, taken by... Well, Lulin, your uncle's a very charismatic man.
Unfortunately.
But, when we came here, it seems like whatever magic was put over a bunch of the Minotaurs from the pits fell. And they began to question things. Especially once I was here. When I started speaking out against our dear leader. By the way, I wouldn't say his name. Seems like his flame keepers have kind of a, some sort of a spell on it.
Names are very powerful.
And what of my name?
I don't think the last name Bold Speaker has anything to do with it. Although I think you will be happy to know that your father wasn't too keen on your uncle's action either.
Also, the fucker's doing something. Or is
Aye.
he still just... Or is he still just sitting at home and still working on his paperwork?
Well, he is sitting at home working on his paperwork, but at the same time, he's making sure there's enough money funneled to us in ways that can't be seen that we can keep this operation up and running.
So he's still only doing his job.
Aye, well, I don't think helping the ones who are organizing a prison break is quite his job.
No. You got me there.
But he is finally helping, so that's something. You can't go too far though.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, your uncle's using your sister as one of his scribes, so there's a chance, however slight, that he's doing it to keep your father on a tight leash. But it is good that you're all here. I mean, I didn't think we had a shot in hell of pulling this off. And as he says that, Avery kind of looks up like, what the hell? Then he goes, but with you all here, we might have a chance. I mean, unfortunately, the little guy's not with you. It would have been nice to have him to get into a prison, but...
Yeah.
I'm sure he's out there raising all manner of hell
I'm
in his
kinda
own way.
surprised that they didn't lock you up, Elnis, honestly.
Benefits to being a public figure, Newsom.
It'd look bad on them to put you away, because people kind of idolize you.
Exactly.
Very, 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 very true.
Right now, I'm just a nuisance. The minute they put me away, I'm a martyr.
Another
Well,
question for you, bud. What about my skies? What's Nos doing?
Oh!
More so I know how to play the part.
Alright, we might have to find a different pot for you. Nos
Well-
is... well, getting around the local taverns. I will say, though, For somebody who's your student, he's a lot better in a conversation than he is in a fight. Something about how happy he is just makes people want to open their mouths and sing praises.
Nusa rolls her eyes.
Not gonna lie, Karok's kind of gonna set back a bit because that hits a bit too close to home right now.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
Noth is with the Flame Keepers, but he's still doing his honorable part. He keeps us apprised of inspections and such, to the best of his ability. Misses a few every now, but that's why we have the back door. Anyways, I'm assuming you all saw the symbol in the alley.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna say, it makes a lot more sense now. I wasn't sure whether it was a symbol or a threat.
A little
I was
bit of
thankfully
both.
filled in on this, so
To those who know what it is, it's a symbol of hope. To those that don't, it's a threat.
Yeah, and I
very
mean,
useful.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little, more than a little off-putting to see all the Minotaurs with their, and she kind of like gestures to around her head, indicating the, like,
Lack of
weird
horns.
helmets.
Oh, the silent.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
They were here when we showed up. But
That's fucked.
they're paladins,
Ugh.
entirely devoted to the god of flame.
I'm really for killing that guy.
Alright, be careful around them though.
Oh?
They're specially skilled in fighting casters.
Wow. Good thing that ain't me.
The first time we tried to do the prison break, we had a couple of Furbolg druids with us, and as soon as one of them got within sightline of them, their magic stopped working. They couldn't speak.
Oh.
So,
Noted.
something to
Definitely
be said
not
there.
good.
We lost, besides Avery, we really don't have any casters left. Ares missing. Lord knows
What's the
where.
What's our numbers looking like?
Besides the few of us that you see in this room, we probably have a dozen more.
Guess that makes sense from a city of pacifists.
Do you have a map of this? Do you have the map
These-
of all the locations we need to go? I can start planning. Most of you already have that down packed.
we don't really have with you all here, it'll be a lot easier to come up with a plan. Having the wizards here is going to be golden. But in terms of organization, I can start gathering people. We could meet you back here in a few hours.
As far as the spell's casters that were neutralized, was it only vocal?
Seem to be. But,
Okay.
I don't know a whole lot about magic.
Think back. Was there anything binding their hands?
No, they can still move their hands freely. But
Okay.
that didn't help them much once the silent were on us. They can attempt to defend themselves, but most of the casters I've met aren't particularly adept once you get into range. And it seemed like anything they tried to cast after that point was immediately countered. As soon as their hands started to move, the silence weapons did. Could be a good sign, though. If they're that dedicated to stopping mages, they could be a threat. But that's how they're, to the best of my knowledge, keeping Gazpacho chained up. It's shite.
Yeah.
The bear can grow. We've all seen that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if he can't use his magic, he's just a bear.
I'm sorry, the bear can what?
He's a magic bear.
That is so cool.
He's so cool.
He's a tunneling
That
bear.
That is so cool.
Gazpacho is the coolest bear out there. Believe
I've
me.
met a lot of cool bears, but that tops it.
Yeah.
Specifically, a dwarven warbear.
Dwarven. Yeah.
Oh, that I'm gonna have to talk with them at some point. I know they can't talk back, but I know they'll understand.
I mean,
he
he
does.
loves
Well,
to talk.
especially if
yeah.
you have
They can
He's
talk
very
back.
he's very chatty, even if you can't understand him.
If you
Oh,
have
that-
food, he'll talk to you.
Yeah.
That is so lovely.
What's
Lumen's
the plan on
gonna-
rescuing Gazpacho?
Lumen's gonna look at Lyra and be like, and just like quietly like, mind if I borrow your notes for the map? I'm gonna draw something loosely up. And then while the conversation, Lumen's gonna combine like his pathing and like what he's seen as far as like alleyways. Just kind of like draw things up, mark major spots, leave like the bigger area for like more like undiscovered shit.
I
So you
mean,
can just start
Elliot,
planning now.
as far as Gazpacho's concerned, he's welded into whatever like the stuff that's attaching him to the door mechanism. So in order to get him out, we're gonna have to neutralize everyone around. There's no way to do it subtly, I don't think.
There's what, 2 guards on the side of him?
There's what? A quarter-day walk back out to the meteor trail? Maybe we get some rust monsters.
I mean,
Ooh.
They were moving
would probably
pretty fast.
they would
Do you
be
think?
They were
long gone
following.
by now.
Yeah, but
They've been following that storm for a while now.
but
I don't think they'll want to stop.
would they leave spawn behind?
You know, there's
surely
a good
there's
chance that there's a good
Some
chance they
egg
might.
we could catch?
Perhaps. Should I roll nature for that to see if that's a thing that
Yeah.
can happen?
all nature for that.
There we go. Let me just. Right
Can
there.
can I give the help action since we've seen them before?
Oh, okay.
Sure.
I'll just roll again so that way it's, you know. Damn.
Nice.
So the swarm does reproduce, but it reproduces in a way where the females will actually carry the eggs with them until they hatch.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it seems like their spawn travel with them and are carried. You know, a mother taking care of their offspring before they're ready to leave the horde. It's not a nest, I know that for certain.
I mean, first things first. As much as I want to rescue Gazpacho, the front gate's a bit of a popular
Yeah.
location.
We're gonna need more power to get through that, or to do that.
If we're gonna save Gazpacho needs in and out in seconds.
Absolutely.
If I remember right,
Exactly.
there's about 5-6 guards up there. 2 of them specific.
Well-
2 of them on each, or 1 of each side on Gazpacho. He needs to be in and out faster than usual.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I could try and banish Gazpacho because he's from our realm, right?
He is.
Wouldn't be too keen on that. We tried something similar when we first got here with one of the druids. Part of them came back.
Oh, how weird.
This, if you,
It's almost
You guys
it's
didn't-
almost like when they would be. It looked like when they came back that on their way to our world they hit a wall.
I mean that makes sense.
Jeez.
Well, I can teleport somewhat like someone instantaneously like once per day. Although then I'm done with teleporting.
I can also speak. Well, I could speak with Gazpacho.
I don't know. If
Like-
the-
Like speak as in like
Yes, I can cast the spell Speak with Animals.
oh that's really cool.
but the problem is he's surrounded by those
Yes.
mage slayers. So the moment you do
Mhm.
that, it's gonna alert them.
Not exactly the best. Mhm.
Right. Maybe instead, while I gather everyone, would you all be willing to go looking for Ari?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have any idea where they would be?
Since they stopped making contact, obviously we've been hesitant to reach out, because if somebody's watching Ari, then they're waiting for one of us to do so. They're looking for any reason to...
Reaching out using which methods?
Well, we don't use message within the city. The Mage
Sorry,
Slayers...
repeat that, you cut out.
The Mage Slayers seem to be aware of any kind of magic being used in the city. They almost flocked, almost like they're sniffing it out. But we haven't sent anybody to Ares because we don't know who's watching it. But with all of you looking the way you do, well, you could do things a little more subtly than we did.
Would you recommend me dropping?
I absolutely would not, Lulan. I think that you dropping your disguise is a fast way for all of us to end up in the cells. Which, if we decide to make that a part of the plan, not the worst solution.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It could be in the back pocket.
It is a good way in.
since I've already dropped mine, it might be a good option to get me in at least.
Lulu just smiles. I don't know. I think we could have a
would it
fun
be-
time. The two of us breaking out of a prison. It's a first for everything.
Well, would it be believable for Nas to arrest Nuzin?
I think.
Yeah,
Or
I could
using
make
an enemy
myself.
or
I
something?
could make myself look fucked up, you know.
Depends.
Yeah.
Are you wanted, Newsom?
I mean,
Well, yeah,
I
we all
imagine
are.
they'd want me because they'd want to know where you are. Also, the god of this. To be fair, the Stormhorns are the reason that Minotaurs escaped this place in the first place. So the god might have some personal beef. So
Oh, absolutely.
So you might not be arrested. You might just be executed.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
If that's going to
Mm.
come into fruition.
I don't.
If
I
we've
don't know
seen,
if they
if we've
could get
seen
away with
anything about how
that.
they've been doing, if we've seen anything about how they've been doing things, they're going to make a show of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And being your name, it's going to be the main stage.
Mhm.
So maybe
Right.
prison break isn't a good idea. Oh, well, if I go into prison, it might not be a bad idea. But like,
The
You're
upside,
gonna be the bigger show.
the upside
Mm.
from what we can tell is that the prison's located in the same tower that they're holding Roe in.
Okay.
So once, I mean, for obvious reasons, once we kick this off, we're committed.
yeah.
Mhm.
No going back.
Gotta stick to the plan, no matter what.
How big's the tower?
From what we can tell, somewhere near 200 or 300 feet tall. The only issue is there's only one door and the tower is made of obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
It's unclimbable.
Doesn't mean it's not breakable.
Damn, if only we had some of that smoke that the caterpillar was offering. Just float all the way up to the top.
I
Right.
feel like that would be a little bit conspicuous.
The thing that
True,
you,
but it is effective.
the thing that you really have to be on the lookout for, though, is the Bahir.
The what?
Bahir? They're like
Where?
these giant
But you're
12-legged lizards.
Did you say 12-legged lizard?
I don't
Aye.
like that.
Like a
Oh,
centipede.
that sounds awesome.
That sounds like not
That
fun.
sounds horrifying.
That's a whole 8 extra legs.
That's
Too many
Yeah,
legs.
too many legs for one lizard, for sure.
Is it like,
You all
is
are
it like
no
a
fun.
centipede?
No!
Oh, I love
Does
centipede.
look a little bit like a centipede, actually.
Oh my god.
Actually, it's short, 82 legs.
Regardless,
Oh, that
I did my math there wrong. but-
regardless of the point,
That's
then
enough.
regardless
no
of
one's
the
gonna correct
point,
you.
is they seem to be tame and their nests are at the base of the tower.
Wait, so how many
mean, if they're
are there?
tame.
Like how? Like a net? Like
There's only 2 or 3 of them, from what we've
Oh,
seen.
okay.
But I
That's
mean,
fine.
they're each
Are they,
well
like,
over
little?
100 feet long. So
Oh.
We could just make friends and waltz right in there.
Yeah, or maybe the dragon can deal with them.
Or the dragon.
Can I speak up here, bossman? Everybody okay? As Mazebreaker just begins like glowing behind Lulin.
No.
Alright,
Let's go away.
I'll keep it to myself.
No, go ahead.
I was actually very interested in hearing this.
So back in the before times, you know how it is. Back before Velkin and back before everything. Before we had other enemies, there were dragons. You know, giants and dragons, we really don't get along. So we kind of selectively bred some things to fight them. That's what a Bahir is.
Oh my word!
I didn't think there'd be that many still around, though. I mean, shit, back in the day, when we were really at war with the dragons, we had hundreds of the fucking things. But 3 shouldn't be that bad. I mean, y'all should be able to handle that. Newsman still got her whole lightning thing going on.
No, not anymore, really.
So it'll be a little bit harder.
Okay.
So you're saying lightning's the go-to?
No. Those things, some of them could breathe lightning.
I understand now.
But, that's my 2 cents. We could just smash our way through the front door if we really want to.
I am good at that.
I'm pretty sure, if we really need to, I could whip up enough power to bring that tower down.
We don't need to bring it down.
So
we
you're
just need
willing to help
big
then, Mazebreaker?
We just need a big enough entrance.
Well, it seems like we're going after Umbreon. He's kind of a dick. Yeah, I'm willing to help.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking dick for sure.
Yeah, with the Furbolg set.
Very well.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a dick needs to be taken care of.
Lynn's gonna look back at Elnis. How high is Ro, and where in the tower is that prison?
I don't think
Opening
I
a
know
hole
that.
in that middle between the two is gonna be key.
When
So,
Newsden says that, he's just gonna point at Newsden.
Yeah, I don't, they haven't actually gone into any of these places. They have, like, little to no manpower. Obviously, they've already lost some people. They're already imprisoned, so I think we're gonna be flying a little blind with most of this.
Oh, like a good old-fashioned hunt. Got it.
But if we can find Ari, we'll get some more information.
Yeah. That
Last
finding
mission
Ares
we
priority
sent
one.
her on was to keep an eye on the tower. Tell us comings and goings. See who's going to the throne room at the top. That is the one thing we know about. It's
It
part
will be
of
on the top.
it's part of the reason we thought the gods were fake. If you were all powerful, why would you stay so far away?
Does the mortals stink?
To be fair, it does make a big show of everything. If you're really high up, then everyone's looking up to you. It just adds to the assholery that he is. Let's be honest. The gods are not perfect beings, that's for sure. At least when it comes to hubris.
So they're not gods then.
No, they are gods. Just like your idea of gods are a bit more perfect than you would expect.
I didn't have an idea of what a god was before I came here.
Yeah,
Well,
like I told you, we don't really do gods in our realm.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
It's such an alien concept to me, but
Alright, well,
What's an alien?
alright.
Sorry.
Don't go starting with that shit.
like like alienation, like to push something
Oh, yeah,
out
sure.
of your yes.
Sure.
As you guys are all sitting in this room, a bell in the corner rings a couple of times. And Avery and Elnis both snap their heads to look at it.
Is that
News and looks
Avery-
delayed, like, oh, are we all
Avery just
looking?
holds up a finger to his lips. As you hear from outside, Flamekeepers, how can I help you? Something I can get you? Where's your boss, kid? He's out right now. Can I take a message for him? And Elnis is like very slowly reaching down for his mace as you watch Avery just slowly pulling a knife out from one of his sleeves. No. When he gets back, tell him Hercus wants to see him. I will be sure to do that. Can I get you gentlemen a drink? Something strong? Maybe something I use to clean the drains? Watch your mouth, boy. As you hear feet shuffle out and the door slam, and then the bell rings again. Well, that's always fun.
Very clever system you got there. Very nice.
I stole it from the elves.
Well, I'm glad you got to see the better family member first. And Lulu just kind of giggles.
It is a good thing, because the only time your other uncle ever calls for anybody is when they're fit for execution.
Lulu's gonna freeze up, because up until, like, he knew he was here, up until now, he forgot about him.
Newsom, like, reaches out and puts a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, there's like a 1,000-yard stare.
Anyways, how long have y'all been traveling? Do you need to rest?
Been about 3 days since we left the tower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been most of the day. We came over the mountain, so.
Yes, rest would be
And we didn't get a
ideal.
good sleep last night.
Yeah, we didn't.
At least I
Yeah,
didn't.
no. Oh, no one did. Yeah.
Alright,
Ah.
well,
Is all magic tracked? Just cantrips or just not cantrips? What power level are we looking at here?
we don't quite know how it works, lad.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Another thing for me to figure out is Elliot sort of is like still taking notes.
Avery's kind of just leans in over your shoulder, Elliot, and he goes, I haven't had any problems with anything I cast outside of the city, so something to bear in mind. Perhaps why your disguises worked so well.
Noted. I need to see the origin of this magic. You said it was the city center?
I can take you there.
Okay. Avery, do you know if innate magic is affected at all?
I haven't had any problems with it,
Okay.
Oh, that's a relief.
but, you know, I mean, there's a certain amount of magic to be expected in the city because people are still going about their days.
Mm-hmm.
Seems... He kind of stops as he hears the laugh from outside the door. It's less like they're tracking everybody and more like they're tracking things that are new. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Seems like people within the proper hold are allowed to use their magic however they please. But, I mean, we've only been here a week or two, so... Well, actually,
Dude.
feels like it's been a week or two. It's actually been about a year and a half.
A year?
Aye.
Time moves faster where you're from?
Not particularly.
But if it's been a year... Because, Newson, you were... I'm sorry. I don't...
What do you
brain's
suppose?
not brain.
What do you suppose I take Elliot here to go see the source of the magic? While the rest of you kind of get your bearings, so to speak. If you do decide you need something to go do, the last place we saw Ari was she had a room at the Caldera's Cradle. If you decide to head out that way, take a look around the room, see if you can find any sign of where she went.
Do you still have Jeffrey's, Elliot?
Yep.
Maybe leave him with us.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could take Jeffries to the center. If you, I mean, it's a familiar, right?
Well, that would work as well. If you don't want to go directly, yeah, send
No, it
Jeffrey.
needs to be me.
Okay.
I do have one thing I want to be kept in mind because it popped in my head, and I never went to college, so I probably don't know anything. But if they're only tracking new things, perhaps they're only tracking magic that isn't bestowed by the gods.
Oh, it could
Just
be.
a thing to keep
I
in
hadn't thought of
mind.
it like that.
That's not a bad idea.
Just
It could.
something that popped in.
I mean, that could very well be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Avery kind of looks up at Elnis, and Elnis is like scratching his face.
Do you know if anything has been like constructed in the city? Anything new? Any like
I mean,
I don't know.
they put the gates up, and they've been building walls around Ohans, but I mean, I think that's to avoid the lava. Speaking of which, did any of you know that rock could melt?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did anyway.
I've never seen it, but
Aye, neither did I, but apparently all that red stuff around is molten rock.
Mm-hmm.
well,
I know, I knew that, like, you could melt down iron, make a good sword.
how does it not keep melting?
I don't
wouldn't
know.
it just-
Why
wouldn't
is
it just
some of it
melt?
melted and not the rest of it?
Yeah. Wouldn't it just melt all the way through?
Exactly. See, News and you and me, we ask the important questions.
Like, look, there's a reason we're friends.
That
We're gonna snap back to reality and just like out of context, like yeah, it does it
Hey, Sky,
kinda good.
Yes.
give me an intelligence saving throw. And everybody else deafen.
Oh God.
Got it. Got it.
Wow.
Let me.
I have to go find Discord.
We believe in you, Isaac. That's a 9.
Alright. As you say, there's a reason why we're friends. You have a brief flash, Newson, of all of you standing at the top of the tower. Of everybody is standing at the top of the obsidian tower in the center of Umbreon's hold. And as you watch, Elnis is picked up by the god and thrown over the side. As he's thrown over the side, you watch as the god grabs him and his clothes begin to smolder, and as he goes over the side, he bursts into flame. And then you are snapped back. Oh, I should do the symbol.
I think it was a thumbs up.
I didn't know that one would bounce that way, though. I do like that.
It does a random animation.
Hello? I'm back.
One of you remembered.
One of you remembered.
Hello.
Hurry up, guys! There we go.
We're almost-
Everyone but Elliot's good to go. I lost all my audio when I started playing with my headset. Somebody talk?
Hello.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, we're back in business. Well, the dials for my headset are on the back for volume. So when I shook it, I wasn't holding it firmly, and I just moved all the dials around. Great times. But yeah, Newson, you kind of just snap back after that. Alright, well, I guess I have to go talk to your uncle. Avery, keep an eye on him. As Elnis kind of turns and opens the door. Hey, one last thing. As bad as the circumstances are, I'm glad you're all here. Well, not glad that you're stuck here with the rest of us, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Of course.
Good to see familiar faces.
It's good to finally have some more competent people on the team. And you just hear Avery go, fucking rude.
Well, he's not
just,
wrong.
Karak's
Oi.
just sitting there like, I feel like it's not about me, so I'm just gonna fall back.
Boy, say what you will, I found all you, didn't I?
You know, that is true.
Not that...
Technically only because technically only because Lyra only has a mustache as a disguise.
Boy, yeah, so what I'm saying is, the competency levels are in various things, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Your competency level for all of you doesn't always seem to be disguises.
I think that my disguise was really good.
Probably would be, if you were meeting people you never met before.
Oh yeah.
Which most of these people are, so I'll give you a 7 out of 10. All right,
Thank you.
Elliot, we going?
7. Yeah, let's go.
All right. See, Elliot's old man, 9 out of 10. Nobody suspects the old folks. Everybody's looking at children to be the little bastards.
That's true.
Exactly.
Children.
And
The
as
younger, the
they
more
head
dangerous.
out, we are going to go to a quick bio break for our
All
last
right.
45-ish minutes. So we will see everybody in a bit. Doo-doo. All right,
The
we
whole
are
time?
back.
Yep. The whole
Um,
time.
so I guess we'll start with Elliot and Avery as they leave Jeffries. Or while they're traveling through the city, we'll actually start with the people in the room. Elliot, Avery is kind of like slinking between alleys leading you towards the city center. Or I guess the center of Ohans. But the rest of you, after that, the bartender delivers you guys like another round of like actual food and water. And
Now that
then
we're welcome.
and then when they go out, they close the door behind them to the back room and they lock it.
Much appreciated.
Leaving you guys in there alone.
I realize if I can't cast magic then to re-disguise myself. So I might be a bit obvious if I go with you all to see Aerie. I might attract unwanted attention, I don't know. I could flip my cloak up and cover my head and shoulders, and I look mostly like a regular Minotaur if I cover everything up, but could still arouse some suspicion. I don't know. It's up to you all.
Yeah, I feel
When
like
you can't see Newsin, you can't tell it's Newsin.
Yeah.
wait, aren't you not here, Elliot?
No, he's not here.
Yeah, this was just the peanut
That
gallery.
was just...
That came directly out of Jeffrey's mouth.
Yeah, Jeffries opened his mouth and Elliot spoke.
Oh,
Well, I just hate being here. It's like everybody's out to get us, and then they all know, and I actually don't think my disguise is that good, and now you don't have a disguise.
Yeah, I mean, but it was necessary to not get in a fight with Elness, so...
I get how much do we trust everybody?
Everybody meaning
I don't know, everyone who's not us.
Avery and Elness?
Yeah.
I mean, I would trust Elness with my life, so...
I mean, they let me
Avery
in after like
is-
an hour, so
You know. I got my beef with Avery, but...
they let me in after a couple minutes. I'm not sure what you all said, but like, thank you for that.
It's just, for them, it's been like 2 years or whatever they said, and people change a lot in 2 years.
Yeah, but they're fighting for the same thing we're fighting for, so better to have extra hands than not.
In my experience, people usually stay the same after 1,000 years, but that's just
Wow.
with me as a single sample size.
Yeah, I think you're kind of an outlier because you were stone. I'd argue that all of the people that you knew have changed a lot over 1,000 years.
All the people I
Did
knew
you change from stone to not stone anymore?
That's fair. Huh. But yeah, a lot. I would say that a lot of the people I used to know have changed a lot. They've probably gone through multiple natural cycles at this point.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're a plant now, or at least what made them up is a plant.
You know what? You should talk to every single tree and see if any of them are your friends.
That would be.
And then
that
you
would
should
be
ask
nice.
if they've seen anyone spying on us.
I don't.
The trees. If the trees do hold a lot of knowledge. So.
I don't like that.
It's just you can learn a lot when you're in the woods. There's a lot to be learned.
As you say that, Karak, thinking back on it, you haven't seen any trees since you entered the caldera.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
Elliot, as you're listening in through Jeffries and Avery's leading you through the city, you do eventually arrive at the center of Ohans, and it seems like it's a large cobblestone courtyard with a statue in the middle depicting a large minotaur. Avery kind of looks at you. Well, this is the place.
Interesting. By the way, Avery.
Hmm.
If we do end up acquiring that sword, preventing the magic drain, Lyra can't know about it. She has to believe the sword was destroyed.
Well, are you going to take it? Because I don't think Ro's going to be too keen on that happening.
He can't know Ro has it. She
know.
has to believe it was destroyed.
I think this is something we'll have to circle back to, my friend.
Please trust that that's a necessity.
She won't be able to take it.
For Ro's safety, I don't... Look, for everyone's safety, I think it needs to be destroyed. As he puts up, like, air quotes.
He kind of looks over at you. He goes, I'll think on it. Find a lie that is worth selling.
I'll do my best.
Well, one thing to be considered is what the sword does. I mean, if Ro's not the wielder anymore, it's going to be more of a problem.
What does the sword do?
From the way that Rose described it to me, takes the swordsmanship skills of whoever it kills and imbues them to the wearer. Or the wielder, I suppose.
I see.
But it also constantly attempts to get the wielder to kill. From the way he's described it, he's haunted by the people the sword has killed in the past.
I see.
So, I mean, obviously my brother's strong enough to wield it, but if he's not there and one of you has to take it, be sure they're strong of will.
Noted.
Anyways, what are we looking for here?
Well, I need to see if there's any magical residue. Especially if I can see the origin. Even if it's just a faint glow, I'll be able to tell what the source of the magic was. You ought to back up into that alley. As Elliot sort of, like, leans into the old man. Starts, like, leaning onto his cane. As he, like, walks into the city center. And he uses, it's specifically an innate ability. And cast Detect Magic.
So, as you get around the fountain, and you cast that Detect Magic, you see... Hey, Flam, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. You see that there is a cut in the stone at the center of the fountain that is radiating kind of this magical energy. And as your Detect Magic allows you to perceive it, you see that there are faint lines of runes centered around it, and in each of the cardinal directions, the runes are kind of trailing off like they're pointing somewhere.
Elliot's gonna follow the south trail as far as he can. Sort of like signaling to Avery to sort of stay in the shadows, but to follow.
Kind of just trail you.
Yeah.
So, as you follow these symbols towards the edge of the town, I need you to roll me an Arcana check. And based on how that goes, we'll cut back to the rest of the party for a little bit. As they talk as you move your way across town.
Normal, I assume?
At advantage, because you have your Detect Magic up.
Cool.
Which is good, because you rolled a 4.
I saw that.
Then you rolled a 3. Okay.
Nice.
Would you like to use a reroll?
You should use a reroll.
Definitely.
And what is
Especially
everybody
because
else
Vital, I
talking
think,
about?
just bought us another reroll.
Yeah.
I assume rerolls don't count for advantage.
No, you can reroll both.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Much better. Alright, so you begin following the trail of symbols, and you have to, like, weave around buildings, but you're managing to pick up the trail again as these runes are pointing off under the buildings, but across the cobbled streets.
Okay.
You're kind of following a staggered line right now, so to speak. What are you guys talking about back at the tavern?
Lilith's
Lyra, how do you
drawing down-
feel being trapped in this locked room right now?
I thought they locked
Oh,
the door
interest.
behind us.
Objection,
Oh,
Your Honor.
You guys
They're
are
in the
still
room. They
in the
locked
back
when
room.
we-
They locked the back room with you guys in it.
So that way no one could come in and see us.
Got it.
Lyra, how does that make you feel?
I think Lyra's like, okay, I know you said we like she's like sat silent for a couple minutes, and then she was like, okay, I know that you said like we trust them, but we're also locked in here. They lock us in here. What if people are coming to get us? What if they turned us in?
I'm sure if we like knock on the door, they just unlock it to let us out.
Yeah, but will they?
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
What-
Even
where's-
if they wouldn't let us out, it's just a wooden door. I'll literally just break it down.
That's
What
actually
are-
a really
what
good
are-
point.
What- But-
When has a
but
door stopped me before?
I forgot to ask, what are the walls of this room made out of? Like, and like this place, it's like stone and stuff.
They are
right?
made out of wood.
Ah, okay.
Because this is a building from Ohans, where everything is made out of wood.
Everything.
Well, I mean, worst comes to worst, one of you could, a good sock to the face, and I might be able to get out, unlock it from the other side.
Oh, I was just gonna break it down.
That works.
If they're
too.
gonna lock us in a room and not unlock the door, then they deserve to have their door broken down. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Or a face kicked it.
Both, probably.
Yeah.
Fair.
Mhm.
Elliot, as you're listening to this conversation go on within the tavern, you arrive at the edge of the city, and you see at the edge of the city, very obviously not natural, there is a spike of dark stone with runes on it rising up at the edge of the city, about 3 feet tall. Spreading out from it in an arc in either direction along the edges of the island, you see more runes.
He's not going to get too close, but he is going to note the runes. And he's going to compare them to the runes that he's observed from the lock in every stage, basically. Because he saw the runes from the vision while Falcon was making it, and he's seen the runes in the sky.
Okay.
Right, because that vision?
Yep. As you're looking at the runes on this pedestal, it seems like it's a much weaker version of the runes that are on the table and in the sky. And they're mostly centered around Umbreon himself. Based on what you know his runes to be, because Mog's Essence had all the runes underneath them. But it seems, besides the pillars, which are heavily labeled with these runes of Umbreon, and some of the runes that you've seen present on the lock, which could be other gods or could be magical runes, you're not quite sure. The runes that are circling the island appear a lot like the runes of a magic circle.
Magic circle being...
Like a teleportation circle.
Okay.
The one thing
can
you
he
will
see the whole
notice...
address from here?
No. Not from where you're standing.
Okay.
But you can tell that coming from somewhere in Umbreon's hold, these runes are still having power channeled to them.
Interesting.
So you're kind of seeing like wisps
How long-
of dark energy.
How long would it take him to do a lap of the city?
Based on how long it took you to get across it, probably like an hour or two.
Okay.
But it could be done.
Interesting. I think instead he's going to ask Avery if there's a library nearby.
As Avery kind of steps out of the shadows nearby. And you ask him where the library is. He goes, "Well, I don't particularly know where a library is, but I do know a scholar we could probably talk to. But he's inside.
That'd be helpful. Would you mind?
He's inside the hold proper. Do we want to grab your friends first?"
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
He might also be coming to Elnis's meeting, so there's a chance by the time we get back there they'll have already started to arrive. Perhaps we can talk to him at the bar.
All right. Well,
I will say you chose brilliantly on your way to remain unnoticed. Even though these Minotaurs call themselves pacifists, they still have no tolerance for weakness. Most of them will try to avoid touching you if you look like you're about to get blown away by a harsh breeze.
Well,
Which I can't say.
only
but...
part of that is the disguise.
Yeah, it's the other fact the fact that
sort
you'll
of
be
turns
blown
him
away
on.
by a harsh breeze.
Yeah.
Alright, then perhaps we should get back. Come on now, grandfather, as he holds out an elbow to you.
Oh, thanks, Pappy.
Yeah, don't call me fucking Poppy.
I said Pappy.
You're the pappy.
You're the Pappy. Why would you refer to your grandson as Pappy?
No, I'm Grampy.
Aye, but my name's not fucking Pappy. As he's leading you through the streets.
I don't know about that. As now Elliot's just leaning into the senile. I remember when the youngsters didn't question us. Okay, I respected my elders, and now I've earned yours.
He kind of leans in close and he goes, "I know you won't break a hip if I shove you over." Watch yourself, Grandpappy.
Noted.
Anyways, back at the bar as these two make their way back. You hear people like the outside of the bar is very clearly beginning to pick up with people. You can hear the sounds of people talking and cheering outside. And after about an hour of Elliot being gone, you hear the door click open from the outside. As it opens and the bartender goes, "Alright, nobody here is going to want to give you away, so if you want to come out and drink."
I think that Lyra's gonna get out of this little room. She's like, okay, yeah, I want to not be in this room anymore.
Yeah, sure. Another drink, not laced with something.
Listen, you can't blame me for that.
No, I can. I came in here looking like someone you don't like. I get it.
I mean, I understand it's a little underhanded for a Minotaur to do, but I mean, I was signed on to the pacifist lifestyle before we all came here, so.
So, there's lots of Minotaur poisoners in Ohans?
I wouldn't say there's lots.
But it's more common here than Olfast, I guess?
It's common if you're me.
Got it. You're the poisoner.
Why?
Poisoner extraordinaire.
I didn't poison you. I just gave you a little something to put you to sleep.
No kidding. You gave me a fucking horse tranquilizer.
Why? Well,
Actually, it's a cow drink.
we did steal it from the elves. Anyways. You can all come out. Also,
Yes.
Elna's had this sent back for you, Newson. As he, tosses you a new set of clothing.
Ah, thanks.
Should cover the tattoos. Bit of your horns.
Yeah.
I don't know how dead set you are on the horns, but he did give me some paint if we need to cover them up in a hurry.
Yeah, it's probably better.
I
that
figure we
uh,
could, like, paint them, or you could just dip your head in the paint bucket on either side. It's really up to you.
I feel like it might be more obvious that they're painted if I end up with paint on other parts of me, you know?
Well, that's why we have water and cloths. We can clean the other parts up. But for now, he said just see if the new clothing works for you.
Okay. Well, then she'll take that and, like, step back into the room, I guess, to change.
So it looks like it's mostly like a cloak and like a
it's
heavy
like
shirt. Like it's stuff to go
clothes.
over your armor.
Okay. Got it. Then I'll just put it all on.
And Newson comes out looking the most basic any of you have ever seen Newson. Has like a
Yum.
gray woolen like shirt on with a cloak with a hood.
Yeah. She took her hair down. The dragon's tooth is out of the hair now. Identifiable traits being removed.
As you guys kind of step out, you see Elliot hunched over with a cane walk in with Avery, and the minute the door closes behind him, Avery just pushes Elliot over.
Elder Bruce.
You know what? Newson actually snickers at that.
Yeah.
In character and out of character.
You haven't seen elder abuse yet, old man. As you see, like, Minotaurs and Furbolgs around the door just stop and turn and look at Avery, and he goes, "Oh, don't give me that look. You knew I wasn't nice." as he walks up. Barkeep, another round. Get your ass off the ground, Elliot.
Come on.
No.
Yeah, old timer.
No!
Anyways, who else do we...
That's all you need.
Just bounce on the ground. I don't think you want to be on the
I'm gonna
ground
go have
for
some
too
tea
long.
in the back. Elliot, like, starts taking off his backpack and heads towards the back room.
We just got out of there.
Boy, we have a meeting to do. Don't be running off.
Well, I'll be back for the meeting. I need some tea.
The
I
meeting
gotta
is
think.
the meeting is now. God.
Yeah.
We can have tea at the meeting.
Really?
I guess.
Beverages do make meetings a bit better, at least in my experience.
As
Freezer
you're
up
all
with
standing
alcohol
here, the door opens and Nos walks through.
Well, now there's two of them.
You didn't tell me you had a twin.
Quick, point at each other.
He kind of like
Well, to the party, we can't.
he kind of walks in and
Like,
stops.
only Newson knows what Nas looks like.
Yeah, the rest of you don't.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
wait.
Well, I mean, you guys
we've
have seen
Lulin.
we've seen reflections
Oh.
Okay, that's fair.
because we pulled
Elliot
out a
is not smart
mirror.
enough to work that out, though.
Okay.
But he
He's too
walks
busy
in.
thinking about magic.
He walks in and he's wearing the Flamekeeper garb.
Ooh.
And he kind of looks over at
Elliot is
you-
in the back room making tea.
He kind of looks over at all of you. And then he begins very purposefully walking up to you. As he kind of like stops. And
He just like leans forward a little bit to cover up Lulin.
he looks like he leans in and he looks at you, Newson, and raises an eyebrow, and then looks at Lulin and says, "Captain Boldspeaker, I cannot tell you how honored I am that you chose me to disguise yourself as. Like, I didn't think you ever really liked me as a student because I talked too much, but I'm so... Elders told me everything, and I'm so honored to have you think that I am the right person to hide as. It means the world to me. Newson, it's been so long. How have you been?"
Lulin looks at him, and Lulin realizes like he looks like him, but like 20 years younger.
And you
like,
really do.
shit.
Like, this is a much larger,
Yeah.
much more... Like, he's got scars from battles fought as a Minotaur.
Yeah, Lulin's disguises him as he knew him. It was just a young adult.
He just looks up and goes, "Newson, it's been too long. How are your parents?"
Well, my mom's not stoned anymore, so that's an improvement.
Yeah, I did hear about I have to say, I was, well, so captured, obviously, before the Battle of the World Tree. I didn't know if any of you heard about that. But when I heard that you freed everyone, phenomenal work. Absolutely brilliantly done. It's
Thanks,
just, can I
Knox.
get you both around?
Sure.
Oh, Newson, that's that same exasperated, tired tone that I've come to expect of you. It's been too long.
It sure has.
He kind of turns around and goes to the bar, and as he's walking through the room, he is addressing everyone by name and, like, shaking hands and, like, patting people on shoulders and saying hi to people. The longer
Right.
Newson looks at him, the more she realizes she did not remember this man properly at all.
Lulin, I'm so much more offended that you said he was a better student than me 1 month. Even more so now that I've re-met him.
I'll be honest, he would have done great in court. Like, that's the kind of energy that you want to see during, like, meetings between gods and godly, like messengers and stuff like that.
We could probably just
like
leave
him.
him behind.
I mean, he's got the charisma for it, that's for sure.
We mean two very different things.
As all of you are out here, and you see Elnis, like, enter the room and turn and close the door and begin, like, talking to people and all that, Elliot, you're in the back room making tea. Give me a perception check.
Well, while the water's boiling, he's also, he has his papers out.
So you're,
You'll
like...
also see Lulin's crude map.
So you're studying kind of quietly in the back room. You can faintly hear the people through the door. But give me that perception check anyways.
Okay.
As you're sitting there, you begin to hear voices, kind of talking in a low tone, and you can't quite make out what they're saying. But are you kind of like tuning into that? Because it's coming from the other side of the
Elliot's
back
definitely
wall.
gonna focus. He's gonna focus on that noise.
So you hear, it sounds like 2 or 3 people talking. And as you kind of narrow in on it, you realize it's 2 people talking and 1 person casting a spell. As you hear one of the people say, Hercus is going to pay us so much for this now that they're all inside. Just a happy accident. They were too close to the edge of the city. Aye.
So are they in the room I'm in?
No. They're on the other side of the back wall. So, like, room you're in, like, bar, the room you're in, behind the building. They're somewhere behind the building talking.
As soon as Elliot hears that, like, they're about to cast a spell, he is going to... Oh. Can he sort of tell where they are behind this wall?
You can, and it seems like the one casting the spell is outside the door that Elnis mentioned was the back door to the building.
He's gonna prepare an action and run through the door. Like, he wants to basically cast a spell once he's through the door.
So, Elliot, you run, and you slam into this door, and are rocketed back onto your ass as it hits something on the other side, does not open, and you see dirt fall in from around the door frame.
Can I move? Oh, God damn it. Just mold earth away from the door?
As you mold earth away from the door, you hear the spellcaster say something, and you feel the dirt move back up onto the door. Also, to be clear, you're casting a spell?
Interesting. Well, was mold earth well, I guess it's a cantrip, it's not innate, is it? Maybe he wouldn't have done that. So, but the door opens out, not in, right?
It does open out, not in.
No windows in this room?
No windows in this room.
Meant to be a place where you couldn't be seen.
You don't have to. We can retcon that you cast Mold Earth, by the way, if you wouldn't have done that with that knowledge in mind.
I wouldn't have done that, yeah. But what he will do, thinking about his innate knowledge in the post-pirate world, is this is a wooden door, correct?
It is a wooden door.
He's going to use his innate inflict wounds and inflict some necrotic damage on this wooden door.
Alright, so...
I am not sure what that would do, but I feel like it would degrade the wood.
So you hold your hand out, and I'm assuming you take your glove off?
Oh, yeah.
So you take your glove off and you hold your hand out, and as the black fingertips of your hand touch this door, you feel the necrotic magic spread as pieces of this door begin to rot and fall away and collapse, leaving a hole around your fingertips. And then gradually around your hand. As you look and you see that on the other side of this door is nothing but packed earth.
He'll just start digging it away. By hand.
Alright. So you're digging this away in the back room, and there's people out front, and as the people are out front, Elnis kind of lowers the bar to the door, turns around and says, "Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to work." As you see Minotaurs begin pushing tables against the wall, and they're like flipping booth cushions over and pulling out weapons and like laying them out on tables. And just like, it rapidly turns from a bar into a headquarters. And that's where we're going to end our session.
Oh.
I do not like that.
I kind of like it.
No.
Alright. Thank you everybody for coming and watching BCH tonight. Thank you for everybody who raided. Too Hard the Bard, Flamtastic, Term, and Sky. Thank you all for the raids. Thank you to everybody who gifted subs, everybody who got the hype train going. That was gnarly and unexpected. I can't do that, Isaac. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Not right now.
Okay.
Thank you everybody for coming to hang out. Thank you to everyone who gifted subs, everyone who followed. We love you all. We couldn't make the community happen without you all. Tomorrow's stream and Wednesday's stream, as I said at the beginning of the stream, are up in the air right now because I have yet to find out if I actually have to report for jury duty.
Oh.
So if I have to report for jury duty could take up the foreseeable future of streams, depending on how long court goes and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You cut
I was
us
gonna
off
say, you're
here?
gonna be like... You're gonna have a silence injunction, and then you're gonna be in a hotel where you can't talk to anyone for like 6 months.
I don't think that'll be a problem, because I think as soon as I say I'm a full-time student on the GI Bill, that counts as disqualifying.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody, thank you for joining us. Thank you to all of our players. We have Elliot Burning Oak, played by...
It's Isaac, the professional roofer. And Isaac's favorite part is when PT read his Discord message and completely ignored him. Very rude.
Damn.
You'll understand why next week. And then we have Lyra Dream Shadow, played by...
Hello, I'm Rosie, when Rosie sees us on the internet. And my favorite part about today, I enjoyed seeing a bunch of old faces. I liked seeing Elnis again. That was fun.
I was going to say, you'd be the one person I would expect to not be happy to see Avery again. Then we have Karakareem, played by...
Hello, it's Terminian Link VT, and my favorite part was getting to have what was more or less another meeting of sorts. Karak's kind of getting to be in his real element, which is nice.
And then we have News and World Walker, played by...
It's me, the Sky T. outside of having another individualized moment. I enjoyed just being the absolute wrong thing walking into that bar.
And last but not least, we have Newland Boldspeaker, played by.
Hey, me, Rambo. Mr. 733 on the Twitch. That's it. I don't really have a favorite thing today. It was just all pretty dang good. You know what? I do have a favorite, and that was Elliot being put on his ass twice. Once by a door, the other as an old man.
All right, everybody.
Very true.
As always, I'm PT. Thank you for coming to the Disaster Tour. It's been a great time. The plan currently is we'll see you on Wednesday, but an update on that could happen. So if you're not in the Discord already, be sure to check that out. I just put the link to it in the chat, and that's where you can get updates on any time that I go live or if plans change. We will see everybody hopefully Wednesday, barring the call to service by the U.S. government. And thank you everyone for the hype train. Have a wonderful night. I'm going to send you over to Glitchroon playing Escape Simulator, so when you get there, remember it's easy what you say. TPK. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
Bye. God, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.